guys give me if I kill that bird?
Barbara, that's a bald eagle.
Get away, Baldy! Yeah!
Oh, well, good evening, and good evening. This is The Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com, coming to you live from the biggest and the baddest comedy club on Long Island, Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, Long Island. Thank you, everybody, today for joining in. We are live on GovsRadio.com. We are also live on YouTube. Go over to the Govs Comedy Club radio channel, and we will hop on Instagram Live in a little bit and collect some people from that range. But before we begin tonight, and before we introduce you to our guest this evening, I can actually have him pop up above Pete's head. Oh, there he is.
Get him, Pete.
Get him, Pete. Alek from Barley Creek Brewing Company in Tannersville, Pennsylvania. Before we get to him, we have some sponsors. So let's get right into that. Steven, take it away with Rosies Draft Solutions.
Right. Rosies Draft Solutions is a Long Island family-owned business that provides professional draft beer system services, line cleanings and maintenance, draft beer line system installs, event dispensing solutions, and more. They are truly passionate about craft beer and making sure it has the same quality as when it left the brewery, and that is only done by making sure the draft system lines are perfectly clean. Tight, baby, tight. Rosie services bars, restaurants, halls, events, and all other beverage establishments, including some home kegerator systems. They service the likes of WA Meadworks, 1940s Brewing, Blue Point, Darling, Moriches Field, Hopwinds, and of course our buddies over at Hopscotch Bottle Shop.
Hopscotch!
If you'd like to reach Rosie's Draft Solutions, you could get them at rosiesdraftsolutions@gmail.com or call them at 631-219-2075, Monday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Mention the Wort, get a nice little discount. Maybe even get a kiss from us.
Well, it was smacks in the fanny last time,
Yes.
So nice kisses are nice and genuine. I like that. Of course, tell Nick the Wort sent you. Next, our friends over at Beer Maker.
Beer Maker, an at-home, on-your-counter, all-grain brewing system. It's awesome. Go get one. We're about to start brewery number 5.
Five.
We have done the
we're doing
the
a smash.
Kolsch. We have done the
Jurassic Ale.
Jurassic Ale. We have done the Future IPA.
Yep.
And one other, and the Belgian Wit.
Yes.
Belgian
You did that one. You forgot.
No, I did the Kolsch.
Oh, you did the Kolsch. That's right. All right, fair enough.
Which was my favorite. Really good. Watched their episode on Shark Tank. Mentioned the promo code WORT. And
Wort,
save
the Wort 2021, I think. Or was that Brew Bag? Oh, whatever. The Wort.
the WORT. Save 10%
WORT.
off your,
Yeah, just type
off
in
your
Wort.
Beer Maker system and off your kits, as well as any other parts like the very necessary growler filling kit.
Yes.
Very
That is
necessary.
a good purchase.
Yes. If you plan on filling anything other than your glass, you will need that to just where you could share it with your friends, bring it over
Yep.
to a party, a barbecue. Yes, it's again, you could go through so many different beers, a gallon, just over a gallon. So it's
Park
not
in the
like it's going to be
fridge.
sitting around. You're going to drink it up quick and then on to the next one.
That's right. Go to Beermaker, BEERMKR.com, and use the promo code and get your percentage off. Thank you very much for Beer Maker and Rosie's Draft Solutions. We also have Brew Bag. Brew Bag for your beer pong cornhole. Played a shit ton of that the other night at Pete's house.
The kids enjoyed the shit out of it.
That
too.
was the kids are actually having more fun with it than anybody else. They don't play as hardcore rules as we do.
No, of course not.
No, but they have a lot of fun with it.
So did you
Much like everything else around the house, they ignore the rules.
Did you make them like pound like juicy boxes instead of?
Actually, the fun, like after we played Brew Bag and we played a bunch of beer pong, and then like my kids yesterday were like, "Can we play beer pong but with milk?"
My daughter said, "I'll go get soda." I'm like, "No, we're not doing that." 16, I'll start you into the entry level. Until then, no, thanks.
No, the kids everyone had a fucking blast.
Brew Bag is awesome. People love it. So go to brewbag.com, type in promo code TheWort2021, or just follow our Instagram link tree to your exact site where you can go ahead and order your Brew Bag, get 10% off your order with the Wort's promo code. So go ahead and go to brewbag.com for your beer pong cornhole, #yard games. Big shout out to them for everything they did. And they sent us a brand new one. We're going to support that at the next
that
festival.
one's so awesome.
When we go to Moriches Field.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, we'll have it out and about. So go to brewbag.com, okay? All right. We also, tonight, sponsored by VintageBeerShirtClub.com, VintageBeerShirtClub.com. Type in Wort and get your percentage off your monthly subscription to a vintage beer shirt. What is it? It's a vintage beer shirt.
Not that it's old and stinky.
That was
there's a
it's supposed to be
helicopter,
the
brother.
cricket. It's supposed to be the crickets.
Like vintage as in like Vietnam?
I don't know which one's the crickets. There it is.
There we go.
All right, 42.
See,
You
I
asked me to cue them up.
42.
I know. I got to remember 42.
Do you want a schematic?
That's the crash.
Do you want a schematic for the buttons?
No, I don't. I actually there is a cue sheet for that. I have it somewhere. I don't know where it is.
He'll write you up one.
We're also sponsored by Brewers Hardware. Brewers Hardware for your small capacity, large capacity needs. Go to brewershardware.com. A lot of people use them apparently, as we mentioned. People are like, oh shit, Brewers Hardware? Yeah, Brewers Hardware. Go talk to Andrew. Tell him the word sent you. Receive a percentage off your order. Wort, W-O-R-T. He's also responsible for some of the gifts that we give back to the brewers. And, of course, big shout-outs to our buddies over at Hopscotch. He's Mark in Hopscotch, as we said earlier before, Rosie's Draft Solutions. Does a great job in providing the Long Island area with some of the best craft beer from all over. Go to hopscotch.com and
They had
enjoy
something
them.
on the menu the other day that sounded delicious.
Beer.
was it
In addition to beer.
What was it? One of those magical, wonderful, goddamn grilled cheeses they do?
See, I won't
Yes.
eat the grilled cheeses.
Definitely.
I know you don't. That's why I'm
So-
like very intrigued that.
Well, anyway, we'll get back to Mark. You
Yeah,
can give us a
I
call
gotta
in.
research that. I'm
By the way,
sorry.
as people are watching tonight, they can give us a call into the studio, talk to us, talk to Alek from Barley Creek, 516-465-3990. That's 516-465-3990. You can go on to govsradio.com and find the phone number there as well. So 516-465-3990 to call in, and I'll throw it up on the Instagram as well. And now,
It was
tacos. Alek from Barley Creek Brewing Company in
Yeah.
Tannersville,
How's it
Pennsylvania.
going?
Alek, thanks
Yes.
a lot for being on the show. I got to start off by saying you kind of saved us. We were up against the time clock. As you well know, I was at the brewery.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, only once. We actually had another scheduled date to go twice, but it ended up pouring, and plans got all messed up, so we didn't get over there for the second time.
Tell me
But
about
we
it.
were.
It's been raining like crazy.
Oh, it was nuts. it was nuts down here on Long Island too.
Oh yeah.
So, basically we're kind of leaving last week's show or 2 weeks ago show, saying, all right, who are we going to have next? We have a bunch of stuff lined up for the summer, but we don't have this next show lined up. We start sending emails and information about people we've already talked to see if that date's available for them, going back and forth, and then all of a sudden, I go to Barley Creek, I take a couple of pictures, and I guess, Amy, you're, I guess she's your social media manager?
Yeah, she's quick.
Yeah.
She's
The
very
day
quick.
I posted it, she immediately goes, so I guess that means we're on the podcast, right?
And I saw it, and I'm like, we got
oh
somebody.
my goodness.
We got him. We got a fish.
Yeah.
Fish on. Fish on.
Alek, usually
You like this?
I do a bunch. Pete started out when we started doing the show 4 years ago. Pete did a lot of the legwork on getting guests, making the
Yes, you
calls and the
did.
emails and everything.
Got me that way.
Yes, he sure did.
Suckered you in.
So, yeah. And,
Now you're here.
and, only in maybe in the last year or so, I've been just being a little more proactive. I had a little free time on my hands between my job and the likelihood that I don't have 3 children in my house and one's an infant. So we relieve Pete a little bit of the stress.
Free time is low.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
We had
mutually beneficial.
Yeah, exactly.
You get some beers, you get some break.
So
It's all
I
good.
did that, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. So everyone was like, thank goodness. And it went really quick. Like I said, Amy contacted you, you emailed me, and we were just going back and forth, and boom, we're there. And then gratefully, we already had the beer.
Yes.
And that's the other hard part about getting guests out of state or even out of Long Island is that we don't have the beer here. And we like to sit and enjoy the beer with you and talk about this as we're drinking and you break it all down for us. And I was just so happened to have 3-4 packs in the car on the way home. So I said, boom, we are stocked and ready to go.
And we're actually drinking probably all 3 of ours favorite style of beer.
Yeah.
This would make my top 5
A
favorite styles.
What's
black
beer?
lager.
Black lager. Top 3 easily. I mean, I do love my juicy IPAs, but Belgian style, black lagers, browns, I mean,
Black Lager's up there for me.
it's way up there. And it's harder
I'm
to
drinking the
find.
brown.
There you go. We got that one next.
We got yes.
It's harder to find a black lager here in Long Island. There's only maybe 2 or 3 breweries that actually do it and do it well.
Yep.
So for us,
27A does one.
Did they do one?
Yes,
did.
they
You
did
had
it.
They haven't done it in a long
They
time.
did it earlier this year because I remember going and
I remember
and that was
you
the first
bought
thing I
it
drank.
for him at
Yes.
Oyster Bay.
Oh yeah, okay. Yep,
yeah.
that one's good. And then
Never had it.
and then Long Beach one is the one that I like
That's
the
what
most
I remember.
probably.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So let's get back into the history of Barley Creek, because as people notice on your Instagram and the image on your lower left there, you guys were established in 1995. Give us a little bit of this history.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to assume I'm being very, very positive here. You were not brewing in 1995.
No, I was one, but there's
Even though he has a squeaky hip, he's not that old.
no, so I obviously wasn't brewing in 95. There is a secret picture of my uncle feeding me some Yingling though in 95, but we're not going to talk about that.
That's on your Instagram. Go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, right. It is on the
I
Instagram.
know. I saw it.
That's funny. But no, yeah. So we started in 95. It was the owner's. It was his dream, just to build a spot where community could be, communal, and a spot to have a conversation, and a spot to be able to, just see all the people coming in and coming out, and maybe try to make a difference in someone's lives, whether it's picking them up or regardless. The building that we're in used to be an old farm. Then it turned into a ski shop called the Pines, hence like those big pine trees up in the front of the place. But yeah, so the building has a long history, and we were just lucky enough to get in there, and I was lucky enough to find myself working there about like 3-4 years ago, and it's just it's an awesome spot to work.
Yeah. I mean, let's break down the spot, because this place kind of caught me by surprise. I'm doing my little research on breweries in the area because I'm kind of stuck at Kalahari, where there's not too many options. I had the BYOB, by the way, because there's no real craft beer options at Kalahari. The two that were actually at the bar, to give you guys a heads up, and anyone else who's watching at home, you have Wicked Weeds IPA in a 12-ounce can for $9. Okay, and then you have Goose IPA in a 16-ounce can for $9. So yeah, I don't know why every beer
Were
was
they
$9.
different in ABV? Or
No.
Was
no,
the
it
Wicked
wasn't,
Weed?
No, it wasn't. It was like 6.5, 6.7. It was like their standard entry level IPA. So of course, Goose was my only other option. I love Goose, but at a certain point you're like, nah. And the restaurants have some other options. I think they have Victory, actually. The Victory,
Is Golden Monkey or
no, the Hop Devil.
Oh, Hop Devil,
Hop
yeah.
Devil, there you go. But they were all out of that. All their tap handles had the cups on them.
Bastards.
Yes. I was like, all right, so no for Mr. O'Toole at Kalahari. So immediately I go to my phone and I'm like, all right, let's see what's around the area. And the one that comes up, obviously the closest one to Kalahari, is Barley Creek. And so I'm expecting it to be industrial area, right? That we're here on Long Island, and in a lot of places in the country, a lot of the breweries are in the industrial area. Maybe not so much upstate, but you were thinking because there's some major like metropolitan areas in Pennsylvania, you'd find that. And then there was a couple others that were a little further away. So I was like, all right, well, they have a restaurant too, which was really the draw. We're going to eat, we're going to sit, we're going to drink, we're going to have fun. So the back roads started getting very foresty. And I'm going, well, I hope it's not just somebody's house.
And the kids are screaming, Bigfoot! Sasquatch!
But when you finally come down the road to that clearing where the brewery is, there is am I right? There's a park on the, I believe it's like the north side, or I don't know my bearings.
Yeah, you're actually exactly right. It's the north side, Mountain View.
Yeah, Mountain View Park, which is beautiful walking park. I guess that must have been part of the ski part, right? I mean, that's where the hill goes up there.
No. So actually, so we're situated at the base of Camelback Mountains, right outside the
right.
Rosies
Okay.
outlets.
The Poconos, folks.
The Poconos.
Yeah, it's the Poconos. Everyone knows the Poconos.
Beautiful mountain.
Really large.
Everyone knows that. Come on.
Go sit in that champagne glass.
I was thinking about it. I was like, can we ditch the kids and go get a champagne hot tub somewhere?
Oh, shit.
Oh, boy. Mom and daddy.
Mom and daddy time.
Mom and dad are gonna do some cooking.
Daddy going to get some alcohol, and then mom and daddy going to get in the glass.
They have a casino now at Mount Airy Resort.
Really?
It's a casino there now, which I did not know. And another fun fact, every year I go on a trip to Syracuse, and the bus that takes the kids comes west before it goes north. So it comes all the way to 80, so it stops at the outlets about 20 minutes away, maybe. It was the crossings, Alek?
Mm-hmm.
It's not far away from
That's
it all.
actually literally less than a mile down the road from the brewery.
Bingo.
Oh, shit.
So I know that little area. Now I expanded my horizons in regards to, where things are in that area. So it'd be interesting that in future years when I don't have to take the bus and I get to take my own car, there's my first stop, a little Barley Creek for some lunch, couple sodas.
The bus is a safe haven if you're drinking. Though.
Yeah, that is true. Thank goodness. But yeah, let's talk about the layout because that's what first struck me. Pulling in the parking lot with the park across the street, you have the main house right there. Didn't know what was going on up on the hill a little bit in the beer garden. Didn't even know it was a beer garden. Just saw tiki torches. Went, what kind of shenanigans are going on up there? I saw games being played and all sorts of crazy stuff. Break me down how all this kind
Break it down.
I don't have that drop either.
That stuff is all fun. We have a really wonderful team, and it plays into like a whole lot of how we've been able to, survive and, on top of that, just progress through the years. Before I was there and now that we're here, so it initially started with just the main location, just the main hub. We have a 10-barrel brew system, multiple tanks, 2 levels that we go on. The restaurant was the first addition on top of the brewing system. And then ever since then, it's only ever gotten bigger. And so it got to the point where, it's like, well, how do we make like families that want to come here enjoy themselves? And so then we were like, let's throw on the beer garden. And then the beer garden was a big hit. And then, all right, so how do we make this more family friendly? Now we have outdoor space for the kids running around.
It was champagne tubs. I know.
Yeah.
That's would have been.
How many times did you, Bree? How many times did you pitch that?
He's going to now.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you say that because we got wiffle ball. We just put in a bunch of concrete ping pong tables, some concrete foosball stuff. We have pickleball, bocce ball, all that stuff, and
nice big lawn for some frisbee. If you guys want to play out or football or whatever it is.
Yeah, or if you're just a little bit too in the bag and you just want to lay down on some grass.
On some cool
totally
grass.
acceptable.
There you go.
I've done that before.
If you didn't drink responsibly, there's a wide open lawn
That you could just lay on.
We try to be accommodative for everybody. Whether or not you're 6 or 60 or you're acting like you're 6 and you're 20 and 26. Who knows?
Either way, it works out. So you guys also have like a s'mores area, and there's so many little things. Again, family friendly idea. It just made sense when you have the space to do that kind of thing, right? I mean, it just happened to be that this all just came together. What did it take to and when did that beer garden start? When did you start expanding out into that area?
So the beer garden, I'm not actually sure. The beer garden was there when I had started. But I believe it was only there for about maybe 2-3 years before that.
Okay.
The s'mores itself, though, our outdoor dining area, we do these campsite packages where you go and you're pretty much you book a campsite up to 20 people or so. And, we set you up, you give us a recommendation on what types of beers you like, and then we fill a cooler. We'll situate it with a bunch of stuff. You can have a barbecue package.
Shit, I didn't even know that. I wouldn't have even been to Kalahari. I wouldn't have stayed one iota.
Yeah, so we got it's pretty much just just a campsite where you can just do an outdoor dining experience and not have to worry about gaining all the bells and whistles. We provide all that stuff for you, and that was something that we actually put in on the Smores Site through COVID, just to give groups of people who are comfortable with each other that comfortable space to just enjoy their time outside and try to feel some sort of normalcy in an abnormal year.
Yeah.
I commend you on the way it was all set up. You got the the sign over there, kind of citing what was over on the beer garden area. You guys put some extra tables out, towards the parking lot for some outdoor dining, again to address the COVID stuff, which was awesome. Just the scene around the area, again, looks fantastic. Everything is beautiful, and you're looking up in the mountains. I know one of the pictures that I posted had that nice little movement shot where you see the mountains in the background.
Yeah. I do have to say that some of the pictures I've seen online, though, are freaking fantastic.
Better than mine is what you're saying.
I'm like, well, yeah, pretty much. I didn't want to really do that, but you're going to make me say it now. So
You're an audio. You're
I'm an audio. I'm not
If
a.
there, if
You're
there
an
was a
audio guy.
bus-
Well, listen, I got this stuff here.
yeah, well,
It kind of works.
Yeah, but and some of them are drone pictures from up top.
Oh.
So they're pretty. I mean, I was intrigued after finding out that you guys were going to be on. I said, all right, let me go online. Let me see what these guys are all about. Let me find out as much as I can before you come on. And I'm like, just looking at pictures for like 20 minutes of like food and fucking beer and just the expanse that is all around the brewery itself and the restaurant is. I mean, if you're going up that way, you're an idiot if you don't stop at this place.
Yeah, and let me ask you a question, because my first walking in and experience, I'm like, so where's the brew house? The way the restaurant is built, the brew house is under the restaurant.
That picture was, though, the coolest picture with the
kinda cool,
glass.
right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that setup. Like, what did it take to get that going? Was that there first? How was the build going in there, and how easy is it to manipulate all that stuff?
No,
Manipulate.
Barley Creek is we're a chameleon. Yeah, we change as the business changes.
That's good, man.
That's the one thing that we like. That I think that we take a lot of pride in, is that as things become necessary, we make necessary changes, and we plan for those, and on the whole, we execute them, I think, fairly well.
Yeah.
So our brew house is actually upstairs. We have an old world system. It's a Peter Austin system, 10 barrel.
Now,
three
wait,
vessels.
but where is that located? Behind where the kitchen is? Did I miss it? You just can't see it from where.
Yeah, it's hard, especially if we're not in the middle of something and you're not smelling like the hops and stuff going. It's hard not to follow the nose that way. But
Yeah,
Now, I did say that
So-
system looked extremely familiar to Blue Point's original system. And which I know they got.
Well, think about the year, right? 1995,
And
when
that
these guys were starting
system
to build out.
Came from Germany, and it was actually the main brew kettle was all brick covered, which is, I mean, just the
How would
history
you
of
move
it.
something like
The
that?
history of that is just the coolest thing.
you don't.
Yeah, exactly. You don't, bro.
It stays where it is. But it keeps things warm. We have a direct fire.
I think it keeps them a little warmer than warm.
Hell of an insulator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we have that direct fire system that's upstairs, and then we actually have a manifold that fits downstairs. So whenever we're done with our actual hot side of the operations, and then once the boil is done and we kill the flames, do the whirlpool and the settling, we throw it through our heat exchangers into a manifold and bring it downstairs.
Oh, cool.
So what you guys were looking at were we have 3 closed fermenters. I mean, actually, we're pretty wonky because you were there. We don't really make a lot of those, like hazy juice bombs.
What?
We experiment. But
I
trying
just looked
to
on
do
the tap
old world
list. I've got
styles.
questions.
Well, we're gonna get
So
into
we're
the
gonna
beer in
get
a
to
little
that.
bit, yeah. But yeah, I mean,
I'm ready.
you're right. It wasn't IPA heavy, which was fine with me because the alternate styles that people don't have when they don't have IPAs are the ones that you do have. You have the black lager, you have the brown, you have the Saison IPA, which I had.
Oh God, that's top of mind for questions.
And I didn't bring it home, and I'll explain why when he describes the
man.
brewing process.
He was going to punch you in the face just now.
I know he was.
Saw it in his
I
eyes.
saw you have the
Now, there's a Maibach on tap.
yeah. I didn't get a chance because I wasn't in my
There's
flight.
a brown, a black. I mean, this is Yeah.
Your place, right?
Yeah.
Does it remind? Let me tell you something.
Hey, kids, we're going to Kalahari. But first, we have somewhere to go.
There's a catch.
We got a grain room. It's pretty comfortable if you want to crash.
Oh, yeah,
Trip
bro.
at barleycreek.com.
There's nothing better than sleeping on grain bags. I love it.
It reminds me of Black Forest.
Ooh,
Yes.
Right.
Which, by the way,
Yeah.
I just found out they are permanently closed.
Oh,
Even
really?
the restaurant?
Yes.
Oh, no.
The whole thing.
That's where Terry and I went for our first date.
I love Black Forest.
Really?
Wow.
So we had
You
a
survived.
German-style brew pub right here on Long Island in Farmingdale. I guess it's Farmingdale. It's close to Melville,
Farmingdale.
but it's Farmingdale. It was in Farmingdale. And they brewed a lot of German-style beers. They would brew Dunkels. They brewed Ambers.
Hefeweizens, Kellerweiss, the
Yeah.
whole. And for a while, they were really pretty good.
They were kicking.
Then they lost their brewer.
When we started
and then
this
once
show,
they lost that
they
brewer,
were-
it was
yeah.
over.
Yeah. They
Google
couldn't-
says that
And then
temporarily
now,
Well, they got those
COVID
tanks
killed them.
still, though. So what? Someone's going to have to pick that up.
See, the thing is, the brew house itself was shot. It was
Oh.
like the guy, the original brewer, got so angry with them when he left, he actually pulled all the electronics out, like all the wiring.
Shit.
He just cut them, just ripped them
So
out.
they didn't even use those tanks then.
So for a while they weren't brewing, and then they actually had the company that installed it come back, try to get it going again, and
Yeah.
they still didn't have a brewer. They took a waiter and said, "Are you going to be the brewer?" And had the guys from the company
Random
for 2
waiter.
weeks that barely spoke English
What?
try
did
to
they-
train this kid because he was a home brewer.
Well, they were German.
Oh yeah,
Oh, so they
right from Bamberg supposedly.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a nightmare.
Yep.
Imagine being the owner of that. And the
And-
place was, Alek, just as big, expansive, little areas here and there. Great big dining room with a fireplace.
Around
Like-
forever.
Nice
Yeah.
outside area. To
yeah,
sit.
nice
Yeah.
outside there. They did
They did a
live
really good
music, German.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
German music was.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, but you'd be proud of it just because what you guys are doing at Barley Creek. It really feels very similar, and I was thinking that while I was sitting there. Not so much in the menu because they have a lot more like traditional German, brats and stuff like that.
Schnitzels.
Schnitzel.
Love that.
Un little schnitzel.
Oh, the little schnitzel.
But
Petite
their brewing
schnitzel.
style was very close to what you guys were putting out and on your menu and on your tap list. So
And by the way, this is a very nice,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
very
enjoying
nice
it. Yeah.
black lager.
Yes.
Enjoying it thoroughly.
it's like
Got a
morning
little
coffee.
sweetness on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, we're gonna have to break that down, Alec. I'm gonna break it down.
Black
So
water.
give us, a little bit of. I know you kind of mentioned some of the equipment you're working with. Give us a little bit of like a virtual tour of the brew house, but auditorily.
Now,
So,
also, you're the lead brewer, the head brewer.
So right now, I'm kind of like dictating the. It's really we're really contingent brewing operation. Old group. We do brewing and distilling. So our head
Yes,
brewer
that's true. Yeah,
has. Yeah, so our head brewer has shifted more into like coaching the distilling team, and I've been there long enough to become comfortable and operate the brewing system and help dictate and build schedules and stuff.
Oh, cool. More of a manager then.
So yeah, but it's fun. It's really there's never really any sort of like competition in that regard. But in terms of a virtual brewery, like I said, we have a virtual tour of the brewery. We have a 3 vessel system, 10 barrel Peter Austin, and we have 7 fermenters. 3 of them are closed. That's what we typically do all of our our lagers and heavily hopped beers inside of, just to like try to maintain a lot of the aromatics.
Mhm.
And we have 8 brights, and I don't know if you know this, but one of the cool things that I really enjoy about ourselves is that the first 8 taps on our bar all run directly from our brights. So we're
Nice.
not one of those like
That's
fill,
freaking cool.
Fill carb.
I did not know that.
Fill, condition, carb, and then send off. We actually maintain the majority of our beer inside of our brights until we get down to the point where we need the vessel.
Wow.
And
None of
that's
them are beer specific either.
That's great too,
So-
because you're not moving that beer around, which means it's not getting up as much. So now
Absolutely.
you have that traditional, that beer that you brewed and you were hoping for has not had anything done to it to
Zero risk of
adulterate
contamination,
its flavor or its what you were hoping to get, its body and everything else. That's, you don't see a lot of places that do that. Was that something you guys thought of like at the beginning when you first put the system in, or was that something that came along?
So, like I said, I haven't been there from the start, but it was definitely a main, it was definitely one of the idealities that we would like to, hold fast to. It's just having the highest quality beer as fresh as possible for as long as possible. And just the way that we do things is we just try to rotate as we can. And we build our brew schedules. It's hard to build a brew schedule if you're not kicking off right away.
Yeah,
so, we're, that's a little bit of, that's the curveball always. But, at the end of the day, when you're seeing people and you're sitting at the bar and they're talking, they're like, man, this beer tastes, like real good. Like, this tastes fresh. It's like, it's a fair enough trade-off where, I'm proud of being able to put beer inside of a tank. And I know all the people that I work with are also proud of being able to put it in, get it to where it needs to be, and then also have people, enjoy it as the way that it should. The only thing missing, I think, is that like little the hand tap.
But, so you guys are little schnitzels. You guys are a farm brewery.
So we're not a farm brewery, but we're a community brewery. So a lot of the stuff that we do, it goes back into the community. We like to do a lot of charity events. Even if it's not like beer based, where a portion of X goes to this, organization. We like to do a lot of like, golf outings, baseball games. We spend a lot of money. Not spend a lot of money, but we donate a lot of money based off of participant ticket sales for like tailgate events and just like a whole bunch of different stuff.
No, that's cool.
We always like to throw it back, and then we're one of those breweries that also when you're done with the grain, you have the spent grain, we scoop it back into the bags and then we throw it out, and then actually, my neighbor, Larry, he comes and picks it up and gives it, cows, chickens.
Awesome.
But,
great. That's great. Yes, I mean, up there you have that ability. I mean, there are farms all over the place
for sure.
Now, I mean, you guys, how many taps do you have in the tasting room or the bar or the?
So, on our main bar, we have 20 taps. At our tasting room, we have 20 taps. Okay. And at the outdoor bar and the back bar, we have respectively 8 taps each.
Wow.
Okay. And you guys do have guest taps, though, right?
Yes. We like to highlight different Pennsylvania breweries that we enjoy. We opened up the same year that Yards did.
Oh, love those guys.
Yes, I think they beat us by like maybe 3 days in the opening day or something like that. So
you guys
the story goes.
They have a bunch of guest taps with them on there, correct?
Yeah, that's why I was looking at the menu before.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're great.
And what's fun? I've been to Yard several times, and every time I've gone, the guys are just so. Just the nicest guys, I owned the brewery for 7 years, and I'd walk in, and they're like, "Yeah, come on in the back, let's do this." And next thing I know, I'm walking out with a case of beer, and I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm coming back with a case of beer for you guys if you guys are gonna keep doing this to me." But yeah,
I had the same experience when I was there. We were pre-COVID 2019, we dropped off. I dropped off a couple kegs to go out to the Great American Beer Fest.
Cool.
And I was there, and it's a long enough drive away, so I sat down for a little meal, and then I think I didn't even order the meal yet, and they came out and they're like, "You want to look at the brewery?" And I was like,
"Yeah, that sounds about right."
In the woods, like, yeah. Dude.
Yeah, and their brewery is high tech. They have a real beautiful setup and canning line and just they started off right and being in the city too makes a whole big difference.
And they have multiple locations.
Yes.
Yeah, they're probably by the sea area, the seaport area. Sea. Are they in the sea? Can we see them like in the water? Are they
Atlantis?
Are they part of the duck tours that go through the historical trail of Philadelphia?
Schematics.
Right. You're correct. What led to that kind of relationship?
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
empty. I
besides
just
just
wanted
the obvious of like reaching out and in the same state, was it something where somebody knew somebody, a little networking? What was going on there?
Yeah, so like I said, our owner when we started brewing
Oh boy, here we go.
back in
And
'95,
you did it.
they started brewing, and we were each respectively getting a little bit bigger, and we got to the point where we needed to get a little bit bigger. And so they were a little bit bigger than we were big. So we actually contract brewed a little bit through them. We would send them
cool.
the recipe and all that jazz.
Very cool.
And we stopped doing that just because it didn't really feel like it was us. We wanted to. Our whole thing, we're an old world brewery. We make a lot of old, classic, traditional styles of beer. And getting that big at that point in time just wasn't something that, it wasn't feasible, and it wasn't us as an identity. We wanted to keep that, integral. This is a local craft beer, and we don't need to, people will find it, and we'll do just fine without having to distribute. And so
Cool.
I think that's what people are looking for these days anyway, is that, that hyper local feel and getting it, getting a beer where it's made. I think that's, that's the market is today anyway, I think.
Yeah. And we take a lot of steps to do that. We don't operate off city water. We don't have to really treat our water at all. Actually, we have a 700-foot deep artesian well. And it's actually like an aquifer that spans almost the entirety of Tannersville.
So the creek is like on the other side of the street. Beautiful babbling brook.
Well,
it's definitely.
So I know
that's
when
the
I
word
go
for
there,
it.
don't piss in the brook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you want to drink your own
Note to
urine in a
self.
future beer.
Well, yeah, point taken
They
here.
do boil it. I mean, come on. It's
I
fine.
understand that.
It's spoiled. Come on.
boiled.
It's boiled.
No, please don't piss in the brook.
You might want to
Directly
put that.
into
You
the
might
tank.
want to put that sign out
Is
there.
there not a sign that already says that? Because I
Please
feel like there
don't
probably
piss
needs
in
to
the
be.
brook.
We don't pee directly into the tank, so feel free to go in the creek. That's what it should say.
No, but we do like very little water chemistry. Part
That's
of our
awesome.
mentality is, but and back in the day, no one was adding calcium chloride
Nope.
or gypsum into the waters. So we try to make do with like a lot of our ingredients that are going to help balance our chemistry, instead of using
Well,
not
coming right.
chemicals, but
The best thing coming right
salts.
out of the well. You
Yeah.
have no fluoride, no chlorine, nothing like that. So you're starting off in a good way.
Right.
Yep. So it's pure water. We like to do a lot of stuff with double eagle malts. Shout out to Scott at Scott Murphy's Hop Farm. They
cool.
supply a lot of the barley for double eagle, and they've also supplied us with a decent amount of hops. They're awesome. So we get a lot of malt from them. We're trying to do a lot more Pennsylvania-based malting.
Oh, awesome.
For our beers. And,
Now, how is that? I mean, even from your perspective of a brewer doing this for a while, compared to some of the stuff that's available across the country, how does Pennsylvania stack up? Because I know, like, New York has their malts, their hops, but people say, as good as that is, the supply is low, the hops aren't quite the same.
They're expensive.
They're expensive, yeah. Is it the same kind of concept in Pennsylvania?
It's it's a little bit extra of an expense, but at the same point in time, there's this whole connotation that like brewers and beer in general doesn't get respected on, is that terroir becomes part of the brewing process. Like we're using our water, so that's our Pennsylvania water. It has our mineral content, it has our it's our chemical makeup. And then you have our seasons that change and dictate the flavor of the malts, and then our personal Pennsylvania roasters and malters who are going to, that's going to change the way. Like a pale malt from Pennsylvania isn't a pale malt from New York, just like pale malt from Germany and UK aren't the same. So there's a lot of difference inside of all that stuff. But for us, it might cost a little bit extra, but there's no. It tastes more of like home at the end of the day, and the best beer that you can get is always the closest to home.
Now, does it have like a very specific flavor profile to it that makes it specific to Pennsylvania? People say that about the ingredients made in the state and the things that are going on around.
So, like typically with like a, like you take like a pilsner or like a Vienna, and that's where you get like a lot of those like honey flavors from.
Right.
You know, not like Pilsner necessarily, but like Vienna. You know,
Sure.
but like Pennsylvania Pale from Double Eagle has that.
Shout out to Double Eagle.
Well, shout out to Double Eagle. They do a great job. It's it's fantastic.
Are they one of the larger producers of malt for you guys?
Yeah, it's so we do a lot through Country Malt, but
Yeah.
you know, we get a lot also through Double Eagle.
Cool.
Double Eagles are you know, they're second to none. Yeah,
Oh, so you get some New York malt too, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
we're-
here in New York,
Creek.
there's a program, you know, a farm brewer's license, which is something that's
Yes.
I don't know what the next from the last
Comparable?
5 years or so, where you know there's incentives for the brewers
Tax
to
incentives.
tax incentives, and it the stick part of it is then the brewers are buying. I think it's up to 60% of their ingredients now from New York State.
Way more.
80% of the up to
Yeah,
now?
it's
80% of the
Is it 80 or
ingredients
is
now.
it 90 yet?
It's up there now.
So is there a similar program in Pennsylvania, or is
He's got the
you guys
brewer
have a lot
track
more?
rap. He's got the app telling him it's 90 in New York now. Sucker.
I don't, there's probably a bit more farmland in Pennsylvania than
Just a little bit.
just a little bit than in New York. So
Yeah,
is there a
I
similar
think-
program there, or
Not
what?
yet. I think that in Pennsylvania haven't really yet sat in and spoken to breweries, that in depth and been able to create a policy that would benefit both farmers and breweries alike. Soon. Yeah, I remember I was talking to the dudes up at. I used to go to Syracuse a lot. I remember you were talking about going up to Syracuse.
Yeah.
But are you familiar with Empire State?
Yeah, but they're not there now. It's
I know.
we were just Myers Creek.
It's Myers Creek.
Is it Myers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually we had him on the show early in the year. Really good beer. Steve was up there
a couple weeks ago, right?
Couple weeks
Yeah.
ago. Yeah,
Oh,
and
man.
then just
It
unfortunately,
is the old Empire.
yeah, it's a gorgeous spot. The beer Empire
Yeah.
beer was
Awesome
always good.
spot.
They had a lot of it down in like the Brooklyn Queens area.
There was
a lot of
and
beer
they had
breweries.
they had that was something that I really enjoyed going up there because it reminded me of us, a
Yes.
little bit more farmland, a little bit
Yeah,
more space,
a little
to
open,
farm
a
and,
little more open, but still.
So
yeah, but there was the same exact type of thing where there wasn't like a lot of like super heavy trendy beers like none of these like pastry stouts or an immense amount of sours or whatever. But it was just like a lot of classic styles that they would use some adjuncts like that lavender, lemon, ginger. What was that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about because I remember going. This is the first time I'm seeing all of this in this drink.
And it was so good.
I don't think I was ready for it, Alec. I don't think I was, as a beer drinker, ready for it at the time. I know
man.
I've done a lot since then and probably be more palatable nowadays. But
Yeah.
for what when I had it, I was like, I don't know. It's a lot of flavor, a lot of stuff going on here.
There was.
I probably definitely would have appreciated it more now than I did then, for sure.
Yeah, but they were one of the first people that talked to me about that about the the policies up there, and I was like, that sounds really really awesome. It was just just to be able to incentivize the farming trade
It's
and also make it
incentivizing
more
the
popular.
farmers, to produce more.
Yeah,
Right now in New York State, there are about 450 breweries, licensed breweries in New York State. So I got to think that Pennsylvania is not that far behind. You guys got to have a few hundred, if
Between
not more.
Pittsburgh and Philly as being
Yeah.
major metropolitan areas, right? Between some of the subcities of all of that and the suburban areas, and just the whole essence of craft beer in the country, it's got to be growing at an exponential rate, just like every other area.
yeah. But there's a ton of us, and the coolest thing about this industry is that there are a ton of us, and it's one of those, it's not like it's not like you're opening up a mechanics, or like a car shop.
Right.
You have another one down the street, and then next thing you know, like that person's stealing business from you, and you don't want to talk to each other or whatever. Like it's a totally different environment inside of this, craft beer beverage world. Wine, they're all the same thing. we like to have that conversation and talk and say, how can we make this better for us? How can we make this better for, all the people that we come in contact with, whether it's people growing hops, people growing barley, whether it's the person that's like pumping our sewer, like how can we make this better on you? So, there's a lot of work and a lot of dialogue that's being spread across the community inside of Pennsylvania and inside, I'm sure New York as well. But the whole thing is, how can we make this more streamlined? How can we make it more beneficial? And how can we incentivize people to want to be a part of this, a part of the craft, whether or not you're growing the grain, you're malting the grain, you're growing the hops, whatever it is. There's a stigma on farmers being, just kind of simple people who just like go by day to day, and it's like that's not the case.
Yeah, what they don't understand is the science that goes in behind all of that. They're freaking scientists out there nowadays. You can't be the lazy farmer anymore and just grow some corn, spread, get the broadcaster spreader and throw it all out. Now you actually gotta understand chemical balance of your soil, the amount of water. The seasons, and understand how things change periodically over time. It's an amazing progression in the horticultural area.
I still don't give a shit whether they're lazy or not without them.
Yeah.
We're all fucked. We stop.
Yeah, right. I'm thirsty.
Because they're not just
I'm
feeding
constantly
us.
thirsty, and if there's no barley, I can't drink. And
There you go. They better get their ass up, get that cock out there, and start throwing away.
Whoa!
I just meant the rooster. I meant the rooster. 5 a.m.
Man, that took a turn, Mike.
Jesus. I thought we were all having fun.
Screaming, get the big cock out there. What the hell is that, bro?
Oh, I'm sure there's something out there that's going to...
Well,
get those farmers out there.
That cock.
Did you found the map?
I did.
Pete made up a schematic for him. Schematics.
I remember most
45.
of them.
So, Alek, to transition from the cock conversation, you had mentioned distilleries. Good Lord.
It's going to be hard to.
I see you guys also distill some spirits there. Whiskey, gin, vodka, rum.
I did not have the opportunity to do
rum?
that. But they...
Rum.
I got a question for you, actually, Alek. My wife...
No. Why didn't you bring me a bottle of rum home?
Right, so my...
He blows me red.
My wife had a mule, a Moscow Mule that you had on the draft list. Is that made with the spirits from the distillery?
No, I would.
Yeah, so that's one of the weird things that we're trying to get into. We're really into the idea of doing like these handcrafted cocktails, making them on these small batch 10 barrel sizes. And as we do it, we're like inside of that Moscow Mule.
Yeah.
We have about 65 pounds of ginger that we chop up. It's a long morning full of blisters. We chop up all that ginger. We'll let it simmer on the stove in a pot of boiling water for a while. And then we pretty much run through it like a mash, where we essentially do like a little sparging process, and we just pull all of that, nice, rich, fresh ginger flavor out of that. We collect about 50 gallons, 50 gallons of that, and throw it into the tank. We do our own process. We cut it with some vodka.
Wait, so are you making your own ginger beer, or?
We're not necessarily making ginger beer, but we're definitely, we're steeping the hell out of ginger.
You're making ginger tea.
We're making ginger tea. Some fresh ginger tea. We're doing like an extract base, and a lot of people really enjoy it. And
my wife was one of them. She had her Moscow Mule, and I went, this is interesting. So she asked the waitress, how is that prepared, because it was on the tap list, and she said, we have it, kind of, it's from the distillery, and then they kind of have a submix that happens at the tap, and that's very interesting. And I totally forgot. I dropped the ball on spirits, bringing them home. Dropped the ball on the spirits.
We also we just started doing this. We did it for the raceway for race weekend. We made this thing. We call it Pocono Punch.
Yes,
I pretty much take some. You did see that?
I did. It's in can, right? You have it in 12-ounce cans to go.
Oh yeah.
I know you didn't bring that home,
but of
Steve.
course,
Bring that home.
of course,
It's dangerous.
of course, again, fumble fingers, O'Toole,
Humble fingers.
drop the ball.
No,
and
There's only
uh,
fumble fingers.
fumble fingers,
like
O'Toole.
that.
So let's go back to the series of events that took place.
There we go.
I get the beer. I go back to the hotel before I
All
crack.
you need to say to me is,
Sorry, I fucked
I
up.
was hammered,
I
forgot.
I was a little bit
and
hammered.
hammered.
I had to drive
I
back.
was hammered.
I was hammered when I got back, for sure.
All right.
But I was about to crack the first beer when I got the text about, or the DM about being on the show, and I went, I guess I'm not drinking these tonight. And I guess I should have picked up a lot more when I was there. This is like a little personal stash. I've probably given you one of each anyway. But yeah, I was like, well, now I'm going to definitely hold on to these. So then, and as I mentioned at the top of the show, we were planning on coming back another night, and I already had the list. I was like, I got to try that punch.
And he definitely wrote down bottle of rum for Steve.
No.
Bottle of rum to Steve because I know it's his favorite. His birthday is only weeks
I
away.
unfortunately did not. That did not say rum.
And
No,
yeah,
I did. I'll take that hit. I did not have the spirits on that list. I was still thinking beer the whole time. But I did not get
Well, now I
back due to
remember
storming, due to plenty of storms keeping us from doing anything else.
There was a lot of storms. I tried golfing 3 times in the past 5 days.
Oh.
Every single day that I've gone, I've been caught off on like the 5th hole. So
Where-
I
where do you-
understand that struggle.
Where do you go? Because I got a buddy, another parent, another kid's father, who actually brought his son up, who also plays golf, and they were trying to get out as well. I forgot where he said he was going. I want to say like free something or free. It's not free.
I'm not sure.
But where do you
Yeah,
usually
I,
go when you're up there?
I live about 10 minutes away from Hideaway Hills, so
Okay.
I'm always over there. But Great Bear is a really awesome course.
Great
It's up
Bear,
in
okay.
Marshall's Creek.
All right.
Right outside of the water gap.
Yeah.
Definitely go there.
I'm always thinking, okay, Water Gap means to me a place where I can get fireworks or I can't get fireworks. It's pretty much how it
Right.
works. Once I cross that, I go, no more fireworks. Better get them beforehand. But I don't.
Yeah.
I did not get fireworks on this trip either, which I usually do.
What?
I know. I usually
What?
do. And I don't go crazy. I don't get mortars. I don't go nuts. I usually get like some
The
ground
snakes.
the ground fountains. I'll get like a couple of Roman candles.
sparklers.
Some stuff. I have a dog now, so I'm kind of like
My
still
dog-
thinking
That's
to
actually
myself.
my decisions.
Yeah, it is.
My dog is the first. Like last year, he didn't even notice it. This year, he was terrified.
Terrifying.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, we're like, come on, go outside to go to the bathroom. He's like, fuck you, I'll piss right in the house. I do
go-
not care.
I'm going in the
I am
house.
not going out there.
Hudson still won't, like, that'll last like a week. He won't go outside after dark.
Really?
Yeah, he's fucking petrified.
Oh, no, she was fine the next day. Even now, hearing like once in a while, she'll look at the window like, "What was that? What was that? Is it starting again?" And then she'll forget about it 2 seconds later.
Oh,
So,
oof.
Good
for you.
Pennsylvania to me
She's
is
young and stupid still.
yeah, right, exactly. For me, Pennsylvania is like the land of opportunity now with the amount of breweries, the quality of breweries, and the fireworks you can get from that state. It's unbelievable. I'm very excited.
It's a fun place.
They're still illegal for Pennsylvania residents, though, right?
No.
No,
actually,
not
That
anymore.
always used to be the thing,
Recently.
right? You could
Yes, just like
cross
in the
over,
last
like
few
just
months.
over
Yeah.
the border from New Jersey to be like, well, if it's illegal in your state, you could still buy them here, but we won't sell them to our own residents.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck
my
those
uncle
people.
from New Jersey used to have to come up and buy them for us and pretend to go back to New Jersey.
Right. As he's
Throw
putting
them
them
out
in
the
your,
window as they drove by.
as he's putting them in your trunk. Nah, the Pennsylvania plate.
They
Yeah.
got it, like,
It's a
the
rental.
last time I went there, and I'm like, wow, what a fucking weird country we live in.
I always found that weird when I walk in. I have to go in a separate entrance. Like they split you out
right.
into
right.
two different areas. Like here's where these people can go, and here's where these people can go.
That's racist.
I swear to God,
I
if
know.
you walk in
That's
that door,
very
I have
racist.
$1,000.
Firework
I don't care
racism.
what door you're walking in.
Exactly. I think when I was down in D.C., they did not have that. So down in it's just outside of D.C. I was definitely in Maryland then. I think fireworks are legal there, and I stopped at a Phantom.
All I know is when I went upstate, we were in Seneca Falls, and there was a Home Depot, and there was a big white tent, and it was like Johnson's Fireworks. And we're like, wait, we're in New York.
Yeah.
How? I thought all of New York was,
Me too.
well,
Apparently,
two
maybe
places,
it's county by county.
two places it was legal.
Huh.
Right
Upstate
and
New York
again,
is a different fucking state.
right in
Right.
the parking lot of Home Depot. I was just like, Wow.
Now, did they do
Like
mortars?
as if they're selling rugs.
See, I did.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe it's maybe the level of fireworks that
those
they could
days of me buying fireworks and wasting my money are over.
do. I still like it.
It's New
I
Hampshire.
like
That's how
it
it
too.
is too. Like
I'd rather have some other asshole.
no
in my
mortars,
car.
no rockets.
Some guy down the block spent $10,000.
Yeah. Right.
It's literally setting money on fire.
Our next block over had old mortars and everything, so we sat on the porch,
Yeah.
drinking and watching fireworks that some other asshole spent $5,000.
I got a guy who does literally like a subdivision of Grucci down the block. And
Subdivision.
He's got subcontractors working
You
on
got
that.
the Lindenhurst version.
Yeah. And so I watched him fuse together like 10 of those mats. And it lasted 25 minutes of just constant mortars.
Nonsense.
The amount of money I think he quoted me 2 years ago. He said I spent $10,000 on fireworks. I went,
What a fucking idiot.
Well, I mean, great for us. Thank you very much. I would have chipped in a couple $100 if I knew I was going to get a nice show. But I brought down my fountains like a tool bag.
Old tool bag.
I got some sparklers.
That's
Come on, kids, get him going. Get him going.
I had those little, like, it looks like a mortar, but no, it just shoots out like fountains of
Little spray of
little spray stuff.
Look what I
I felt cool. I spent like, what, $30-$40 maybe, and it's just fun for the
High
kids.
rolling O'Toole
Oh,
over
yeah,
there.
shooting.
That is
Look at
fucking
that.
funny.
I'm very, very interested in Pennsylvania law, especially in the areas of alcohol. Is there anything crazy that you guys have to worry about at Barley Creek to worry about the alcohol consumption, or anything odd that really doesn't happen in other places that you noticed?
Off of that question, I also want to know during pandemic, did they let you guys deliver to people's houses also?
Yes. So that was the cool thing, is that we were able to deliver. We opened up like a curbside service that we still have in place today.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's an entire new thing that we've been doing this
Did they
year.
tell you that that's going away?
Did they foolishly tell you that wasn't going to be a thing anymore?
Yeah, right. No, it's
welcome
forever
to New
now.
York.
Yeah, in New York, they said what was it, June 30th? And then they
July 5th?
No,
and then they pushed it to July
pushed
5th.
Yeah.
Listen,
Like, here's 5 more days of it just so you can adapt. And so again, it made a lot of sense for a lot of business during the pandemic. I think here and really in the Northeast, things are getting a little bit more back to normal. People aren't taking advantage of it as much. But to not keep that option on the table for a lot of these breweries seems very short-sighted. It really does.
Because someone has, lobbying dollars being spent.
Yeah, but why would they then cut it off now, not knowing what the future may hold?
So
As a redirect or a resurgence of the virus potentially, and then having to go back and change.
Because no one's doing any
again.
restrictions.
I'm guessing Pennsylvania still has it in place.
Right.
Yeah, so we're up in the air, and Pennsylvania has always been able to. Our weird laws come when it becomes out of state deliveries. We can't.
Okay.
That seems
there's
normal.
a few places that we can do, and not enough that we can. So
it's just about the relationships you have with those states that they.
Yeah, and just being able to be able to process those deliveries and make sure that those things are on time and not disappoint people if they were to order something and we don't have it. So that's like our personal challenge. But in terms of whatever we're doing, this delivery thing inside of Pennsylvania, it seems to be here to stay.
Cool.
I'm in a rural part where I can't even get an Uber where I live.
Really?
So that's totally off the
There's not
table.
even one fucking person in your
There's not
area that
one
wants to be an
person.
Uber driver.
I don't know, Alec. That seems like, if you need a side
Domino's
hustle,
won't deliver
to
to me.
mean,
I can't even get
easy
the
money.
Domino's into my house.
Yeah.
I think you just figured out your next side gig. I think there's an opportunity there that you're not taking advantage of.
Or the state
Uber on your
Domino's.
or the state being able to do not just the deliveries, but more like a Domino's type of service where they could just drop it off like anything else.
Yeah, so we're seeing like a few different services that are popping up that directly relate to alcohol inside of Pennsylvania, and they're trying to build their fleets much like Uber has. And they do well. We ship most of our stuff through UPS. We just have, it was simple enough for us to set up, and we don't really have a tremendous amount of deliveries coming through. Most of our offsite stuff and our delivery based is through Grubhub or other options like that, and it's more oriented to food.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like, we are a rural spot, and a lot of the people who are there, they just they're drinking their.
I mean, but how many people?
Yeah.
How many people up at Kalahari at a certain time were like, man, I could use a fucking 4-pack of this, or I could use
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Hold on,
I'm
stop
pretty
the
sure
phone.
Mike would have been one of those guys.
So wait,
honestly,
are we
I
saying
think
that
a
you
lot
could
of
have
them-
delivered this to Kalahari?
We could.
Oh,
Would you have
another
been
missed
able-
opportunity.
Would you have been able to deliver rum for Steve to Kalahari?
Yeah, does that change with the spirits?
Yeah, no, we can deliver rum. We can deliver. We can deliver all that stuff.
Are you seeing
Steve
Steve's
looks
face
pissed.
there? Yeah, that's me totally. I know. I did not know about these things. Had we had this conversation prior to me leaving, we would have been in business. We'll say.
It's when you're not expecting things. It's hard to figure out how to plan, especially if you don't know what's going on.
When
Thanks for saving me, Alec. I appreciate it.
don't do it, Alec.
Don't throw him that lifeline.
Don't throw him
just
that life preserver.
I'll take it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm partially here.
Going forward, Michael.
Yes. Oh,
Going forward,
anytime. Oh, say
You
Pete too.
ask-
Pete travels too.
you
I-
ask questions
Yeah.
like you would be on the show.
Okay.
You ask people
I know.
out and about.
Right.
Hey, by the way, do you deliver and do you have alcohol for Steve?
Yeah, I
that's
did-
what you
I just did.
That's those. The only
I
two
just
questions.
Googled distilleries in Vermont.
I think the young lady who was our I think her name was Rachel Alek, who served us that night. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah,
and
I
pin it on her now.
she would have been. Well, no, how awkward would it be for if I just turn around and be like, so Steve would like rum. Steve needs rum, and she just looked at me like, okay,
Yeah, and she would have been like, "Fucking get Steve some rum."
yeah, all right,
Oh,
fine.
God.
Well, I'll say this, Alec, and I want to talk about the food because my
Food menu sounds
my
great.
poutine was delicious.
Oh, poutine.
I saw fried pickles on the menu.
So Alec, we're going to talk about that because someone was out of fried pickles when I got there.
Oh, that's right.
It is a hot commodity, I was told, and you have to
All
get
right, so
there
we're-
relatively early.
So the whole country is on a shortage. It started with the toilet paper.
Yep. Then it
Then
ended with,
ketchup.
then it's the chicken
Then it moved
wings.
to the mustard. Then the chicken wings.
Yeah.
That's why chicken wings are so high.
Yep.
Okay, so
Everything is a hot commodity.
do we know
right
what
now,
you
so-
hear the new one?
Wait. Let me think about it. Hold on. The new thing that's running out.
Is
Excuses.
it more dumb than putting gasoline in plastic bags?
Why is that wrong?
What's wrong with that? I do that all the time. Little Ziplocs, one by one.
Go to the deli the other day.
Yeah.
To get some
Already
deli
I'm
meat.
skeptical. Already I'm skeptical. It's
Boar's Head.
Yeah.
They have a
Honey
list.
maple ham.
They have a ham, turkey. Like some of they're out. You
Everything.
can't get it
Yeah,
So they
everything.
ran out
It's
of rations.
insane.
because they said several reasons. A couple of their plants,
Staffing, yeah.
Yeah.
staffing,
People
Staffing.
staying home.
and we still, a lot of us don't realize, like Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri's fucking getting blasted with COVID right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're only 32% vaccinated.
Yeah.
And they're just
Shocking.
Running through it.
Yep.
Like, whatever.
So-
what a surprise.
So yeah, of all things, deli meats.
No.
Cold cuts.
The fact that Missouri is only 30% vaccinated.
Oh no, that's not surprising.
That's
Yeah.
no. But the deli meats. Yeah.
You're
I
kidding.
need my Virginia ham, like now.
The other day, my wife comes home. She's like, yeah, no turkey breast." I'm like,
No turkey bread. Where? At
Wait.
Stop and Shop?
You
"Stop
flip
and shop, and then at the deli."
Get out of here. You
And
gotta
they
go
had
to-
a list
gotta
up,
go to the
on
meat guy.
up on the wall. These are the Boar's Head you're not going to get, or that are rationed. That if
Yeah.
you wanted them, you get a half a pound instead
Now
of a pound.
now is that because Missouri is like home of Boar's Head,
Don't
or
know.
was it just because of distribution plant, or the farm itself, or
Supposedly, it's a
All of
several-fold reason. Lack of
Several
work-
kinks in the supply chain.
Yes.
yeah? Oh boy,
I blame Josh Hawley.
I blame everybody.
I blame. Yeah.
I'm going to blame Josh Hawley.
So
I blame Bon Jovi for this.
yeah, that's it. I don't know. He's a good one to blame.
He's a good guy.
Alec, I got some of the deliciousness here. My wife had a salad, of course, but she had the grilled shrimp, delicious. My kids had, I think, a hot dog, which was
That pizza looks awesome though from the pictures.
yeah.
That's all I
I
gotta say.
wanted to get a pizza.
Pizza's great.
That was the one thing I was like,
pizza's fantastic.
oh, I wanted that like chicken bacon ranch one.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
always
yeah.
that's a sweet
That's one of
spot
my
in heart.
faves. That's one of
Love
my
We make a
faves.
solid margarita pie. And we'd also
There you
do
go.
the what is it? The Old Forge pizza.
Oh,
We
yeah,
do
yeah.
that pretty well.
Yeah, that I ended up having the French dip, which I always love a
Hey.
good au jus.
Ooh.
They had a very
Au jus.
good
Oh,
au
yeah.
jus.
Real au jus, Jerry.
That's right.
Real au jus.
It ushers you into the next sip of the beer.
Yeah, that's what,
You know?
when I had the flight going with the brown and the dark lager, it was a perfect combination with the au jus to kind of bring out the flavor profile, the garlic and
Oh, yeah.
the onion and the
Chicken and
Yeah,
lemon.
you have like that
rest,
little bit of
that
like that
sounds good.
semi-sweetness from the malts with like that dark acidity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Look at
Exactly.
you.
fantastic.
he's going into the pairings.
I'm salivating.
Get him a beer dinner right now.
I'm salivating.
Do you guys do a beer dinner? Do you guys offer like a package deal
Yeah.
with?
So, well, we're
Barbecue.
practicing right now, but what we've decided to do is we're trying to do these solstice dinners, where essentially we take the menu and we base it off of what is available, through a local outlet. So
Not
you were asking
ham.
about like farm to table.
No ham.
No,
No cordon bleus for anybody. No one gets
Apparently
cordon
not.
bleu.
We're on a shortage, over here. But we so what we're trying to do is, in the spring solstice, we'll do like a lot of fresher, first harvest, first crop type dinner pairings.
Oh, cool.
And lighter meals. And then the summer solstice, we'll do a lot of like mid-harvest, but we'll start to like introduce like the corns and, just keep that consistency going. And then once we start to hit the fall, we're going to start doing like a little bit more of the, the actual harvest where we do like a little bit of like the gourd. We have another one that's coming up. Our next beer dinner is going to be our fall farm to table solstice dinner. And, we're taking 3 different local farms and we're giving them each a course and then we're giving them each 2 courses to collaborate with.
Oh, cool.
And we're gonna have them to come up. They'll speak at the dinner, give a little bit of an insight to their business, and just try to make that connection. Help make that connection between what you're eating and where it's coming from. And so we're doing that type of stuff. Then in the winter, kind of have like a traditional menu where, back in the day, you weren't able, you're not going to have like a fresh broccoli sprout in the middle of
Yeah.
winter. So
Yeah.
like we're going to try to have it so that there's like a lot of like, the pickled vegetables, a lot of like what used to get people through the winter time. That's going to come through, and we're going to do pairings based off that.
Oh, that's
And-
awesome.
Looking through the menu here, what's on tap right now that would pair nicely with your chicken and waffles, which sounds fucking
Yeah.
great.
Chicken and
And that
waffles,
was my
black
second
lager,
choice, by the
man.
way.
Black
French dip
lager,
and then-
brown ale.
There you go.
There we go. Chicken and waffles
There it
is
is.
never a bad decision.
No.
It's complimentary. You get a little bit. If you drink the black lager, drink the brown ale inside of that. The brown ale forever has been my breakfast beer.
It does feel
Yeah.
breakfasty.
Yeah, right.
Little syrup.
But you pair that with a little bit of that, savory aspect from the chicken, a little bit of that sweetness from the waffle, and then you get it all together. It's like chocolate chip waffles.
Now, just
The whole
to
job.
go back early, what we're talking about, a bunch of different things about the brewery, and obviously you're not the original brewer that started there, but what is some of your background that you brought to the brewery? Where did you actually start? Did you start there? Were you an apprentice or?
No, so actually, I had a really good friend of mine that had worked there. I played music for a long time, and I was doing painting with my family business.
Oh, awesome.
So totally not brewing.
Nope.
And it was just one of those things where my dad, a handful of years back, me and a buddy of mine were drinking beer onto the porch, and he came down, and just like casual dad joke, he was like, why the hell don't you do something with your life? Like, hate the shit you're drinking.
Get out of my house.
I was like,
And off my
that's
lawn.
a good idea. So next thing you know, we started making beer, and it was a fun time, doing it with a bunch of friends. And the one friend that I had worked at Barley Creek in the past, he was there and he was doing distilling, and
cool.
their brewer left, like their main brewer left, and he was like, "You want to do it?" And so I was like, "Sure." And so I rolled up, and I was covered in spackle dust, and I think had to go in paint. And I
That's the hot new adjunct.
Oh yeah, it's not an adjunct.
Gypsum board.
Gypsum board.
Gypsum. That's what
Drywall
they-
compound.
That's what makes the water good. Gypsum board.
Yeah. I distinctly
Have you ever done a
remember
mash with
leaving
homosote?
Yeah, I distinctly remember leaving a trail of spackle dust outside of the building that I was sitting on for the interview.
The best is you come out, you just start stomping your feet and leave like impressions on the pavement.
They hired me. I don't know what I did, but they hired me.
They're like, wow, this guy must fucking make the best Coke because he's covered in it.
I don't know what I did, but I was lucky enough to get the job, and I'm, coming from that like musical background. I toured a lot. I played a bunch of shows, and
I want to ask you because I saw your Instagram. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What kind of music do you play?
But mainly guitar, but everybody needs a bassist. So
No, but what was the genre of music?
So we were like alternative folk indie rock.
Oh wow,
it's weird. It was weird. We always described it as something that you'll like and your dad might like too.
more towards like an Incubus or something like that, or
I was gonna say They Might Be Giants.
oh shit,
Yeah,
that had that
honestly, like
folky.
yeah,
a healthy in between. No, we're called Hodera. Just so you know.
You could go ahead and promote it. I mean, shoot it out there. That's why we're here. Anything you got? You guys still playing music at this point?
Yeah, we actually have our first show in 3 years.
Wow,
nice, bro.
Yeah,
Go.
it's gonna be fun.
What's your weapon of choice? What are you using for your bass?
I play a Rickenbacker.
Oh, going old school like Paul McCartney.
Yeah, yep.
Jeez.
Or like Geddy Lee.
Or Getty. Yeah.
Using the
yeah.
black and white fucking Rick.
Yeah. What's your amp? Are you using like modern amps? You still going through like a
I use,
7?
No, I use a vintage SVT3 Pro on an Ampeg.
Okay.
Ampeg head, yeah.
Ampeg fucking full stack.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Speakers.
Well, you're going to shake the place for sure.
Yeah, too much. It's a bad practice amp.
Now,
That's a bad practice.
let's talk about the settings: treble, mid, lows. Where we? I'm just kidding.
Mid scoop.
And what
Bingo.
and what strings are you using on this thing? No.
Ernie Ball.
Ernie balls all the way.
Balls. Who doesn't use
Dario.
Ernie balls at this point?
Well, the Dario.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh!
Local. I was just about to say, you know what? The only other one I know of is Dario right here on Long Island, in
Island, yeah.
Farmingdale.
Yep.
They make them right by us, right up on
I miss
New
Long
Highway.
Island.
Yep.
I've played the Amityville.
Oh, Amityville Music Hall.
Yeah, music hall.
Yeah, you're right in my
about
town.
that?
I grew up in Amityville. I live 2 towns over.
I've been to a bunch of shows there.
It's an awesome spot.
If you play more shows on
Hanson.
Long Island, let us
Hanson.
know. We'll stop by.
Yeah, no, it was Hanson.
Bring some local
Yeah.
beers.
Yeah.
We'll hang out. We'll drink and listen to some
Eden Bop Tour.
alternative folk rock.
I think they're closed actually.
The shoulder shrug is
Amity's
real.
back
I don't
open.
even know what that
Revolution.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Shut down.
No, the shoulder shrug is real. I don't even know what the hell genre we're in.
That's good. That's good. You know what? And that's a good thing, man.
You don't need to
because-
explain yourself.
especially to us.
Yeah. I mean, Steve plays a little bit of guitar. I play guitar, bass, drums. I actually teach audio production, so I teach recording engineering. As they were yelling at me before for video flubs, I do have the audio down for fucking sure. That's the one thing I'm only concerned about. I'm like, all right, let's just make sure that the audio recordings are good, because in the end, the podcast version was where it gets us our numbers.
Yes.
And gets us not paid, but gets us free goodies from our sponsors. Shout out to Rosie's Draft Solutions.
Brewer's Hardware. Beer maker.
Brew Bag for your beer pong cornhole.
When you said that you were rolling through the sponsors, I saw the opening. I was like, man, you guys got a shit ton of sponsors.
I had to turn.
Awesome.
We turned a bunch away at the beginning of this year. So, like, first year, we had some local.
Nothing.
No, we had Fine Fair.
we had, yeah.
Oh,
We had Fine
Fine
Fair.
Fair that no longer.
Doesn't serve craft beer anymore.
Yeah.
Well, they do, but they don't.
They do. It's
Unfortunate.
it's one-
Some
Well,
of
it
the
didn't
messages
work.
we got from that guy were so funny.
Well, when you put a entire, so get this, all right, Alek. So there was this spot on Long Island. It's in Copac, predominantly Spanish and Polish area. Yeah. And there's and then there's a supermarket called Fine Fare. It's a chain. And in the back of Fine Fare and all these coolers, there was a guy that we were friendly with that supplied those coolers with some of the most elite local craft beer going back 5 years ago. It's more elite now, past Fine Fare's capabilities at this point. But it was a hidden gem. No one knew it was there. And he would get it that day. He would throw it up on his Instagram, and people would be rushing down there to get it. I don't know what happened.
Well,
oversaturation?
Yes. And he truly did not do enough. Like, he really should have put it on the radio.
Yes.
Like on
us,
the local radio stations.
Which we were trying to do because we had a craft beer audience, but we weren't at that level that we are now, building that audience. We were very young, Alek, trying to get our whole show off the ground. But he was nice enough to step in and kind of help push the show forward a little bit.
Because
there wasn't
as
much
clue.
networking back and forth with him. He didn't hold up his end of the bargain, which was we help him, but then he also has to do stuff like run promotions, sponsor the show.
Yeah.
It would have built both audiences. It got to the point where he's doing really well, and then complete and utter drop-off out of nowhere. If you were in the state, you had a beer there. For sure.
It didn't help also that he was holding on to things. You know, you'd go to get an IPA, and it was 6-7 months old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you just bought, and he had his prices were pretty
reasonable.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
But you would get the beer. I mean, just before he closed, you went.
Yep.
There were things there that you're like, he was selling things that were still viable, though, and now slightly aged for dirt.
Slightly aged.
For dirt.
$3.
Along with glassware.
Yeah, the glassware I got for $3.
Tiku glasses for $3. How do you...
I have a Goblet Evil Twin glass I got for $3.
Yeah. And it's a cool glass.
It was liquidation at that point. It was in Copac. It was actually the next town from Amityville. It was right 5 minutes away from Amityville Music Hall. And they did a great job. But that was our sponsors at the very beginning. And then as the show progressed and we got more listeners, more followers, we started reaching out to people. And people took, in good faith, the numbers. And we've had some pretty good relationships with people now over the last 3 years. I think that the first year was a hard one.
What I find is, just for me, our sponsors, I could really get behind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, truly.
Well, this is the point of what we're doing, right?
I used Rosies.
You used Rosies, right.
And so I was 100% behind that. But Brewers Hardware, too. I've bought stuff from Brewers Hardware, and they have a great selection of everything at great prices. Brew Bag is the coolest game going.
Great. Dude.
Beer Maker now, which
cool little product.
We've used it 5 times.
By the way, Alek, if you watch back into this season's Shark Tank, Beer Maker was actually on Shark Tank.
No way.
Yeah, so
Aaron, I remember you guys are the growler attachment, and I was just thinking about how that is just probably me. In general,
it really did make a huge difference in the pouring because I guess Pete and I were the next two to kind of do the second batches after Steve did his, and I know that made a huge difference in the amount of foam and the amount of.
A lot easier to fill.
A lot easier to fill. I mean, it took a little longer because it's like a little pin opening, but at the end, so much less loss.
I would say a lot
less loss in that. So it made a big deal. So those sponsors, VintageBeerShirtClub.com actually came from, and Alek, you'd probably appreciate this, is a guy on Instagram called The Beer Narrator. Scott's a great guy. I started participating in some of his Monday night trivia games. And his prizes are VintageBeerShirtClub.com. He would send out to people that would win the trivia night. Awesome. So I reached out to him, and I asked Scott first if it was okay. He goes, yeah, it's a buddy of mine. He's got this company. I'm like, cool. Reached out. He sends us this box of beer shirts. We handed out to the guests that came in studio in year 3, I think, right?
2, I think.
Year 2? No, I think it was year 3. That was Shirts on Tap, which we used to have too. But yeah, he was like, anytime you need new shirts, just ask. And I have yet to ask because I still have like 1 or 2 left to give out. I don't want to be that guy that asks for more shirts when I still have shirts to give. But it's just a matter of asking. And it was all about and again with this show, it's all about just the camaraderie of the beer industry,
It's the beer community.
Yeah, just to promote both businesses. We're not even a business. We have fun trying to get the word out about you and about what is out there and what we enjoy and the stuff that we go through and all that. I found that to be the most rewarding part of doing what we're doing, and having a lot of fun doing it for sure, and enjoying the beer and talking to the people. So that's what it was all about. It's all about just kind of that networking idea through social media.
Yeah, that's the entire industry on the whole is just enjoying what you're doing while you're doing it as like a laborer or part of the craft, you know. But then as like a consumer basis, it's also just enjoying it. You know, that's like I was talking about. I'm playing music for a moment. That's the exact that's the exact line that I was gonna relate is that you can play music, but unless someone's enjoying it, are you enjoying it?
Yeah,
you probably
right.
are, but you're not enjoying it as much as you could. But if you make beer and someone's not enjoying it, it's the same. It's a beautiful feeling to make people dance, and
I've
world is amazing.
I've always, for me, it was, whether it be in a tasting room or at a festival or anywhere, and I had watched somebody drink one of our beers and be like, "Oh, this is." You could see it on their face, and what's even better when they would turn to somebody and go, "Man, you got to try this." You could read their lips from a distance.
Yeah.
Try this. That's like one of the greatest feelings that as a brewer you can have is like, wow, that person gets what we just did. They're really enjoying all our toil and tribulations of what we've been doing.
They're in the moment.
Yeah. And
Right?
what I wanted to ask you, Alek, is so who's comes up with the recipes, or are they just same recipes you guys have had for a while, or you always have new things coming on the horizon?
So, in terms of like our staples, like you guys are drinking the brown and the black lager.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I have, we've gone through, and those two beers I will never touch.
As you
my
should,
entire life.
because they're
They're
recipe.
just
I'm
so
like,
good.
why wouldn't you? They're really good. Why wouldn't you touch them?
Yeah, they're so good.
Recipe Peter.
Peter was doing a pee-pee.
Yeah, he was doing the dance.
Yeah, no, they're just like incredible recipes, and so those come from our original brewer,
Okay.
Tim Phillips, who recently passed away.
Wow.
We have
Sorry to hear that.
It was a big hit on everybody, but stuff happens, and
Yeah, man.
it's the way life works. And we actually brewed beer, with his name attached to it. We called it the King Phillips, and it was his favorite beer was what is it? The Lord Chesterfield from Yingling.
Oh, wow.
And so we brewed our version of a Chesterfield, and we called it the King Phillips, and we donated a portion to that of that beer, over to wrestling community that he was a part of.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, that's great.
And so we have a lot of recipes that are static, that we're not going to change, that we have people that have been coming for 20 years, 25 years, and we're not going to change them. But in terms of new recipes,
I got to ask you about some of the stuff I see that's on the tap list right now. Like saisons, that's one of my favorite styles. That's one of my go-tos, especially during the summer. So I see on here there's a saison IPA. What the fuck is that? I need
And of course that was the one that also Mike didn't get.
Shut up.
that's what I'm drinking right now.
Oh,
Perfect.
of course you are.
Tell me about it. I want to know.
It's a freaking weird one, man.
But I'm betting
like
it's good.
So you have it's not that sour saison, the farmhouse saison style. It's more just we ferment hot, so it has that funk, that saison farmhouse funk, rather than that sour. And we just hop the hell out of it, man. We double dry hop it, and we add. So we use Citra Mosaic and Azaka, and it's an interesting beer, but it's we got honorable mentions in it from the GABF.
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
for a year. So,
what category did that get entered into?
See, we entered it into IPA at first, like an idiot. We should have entered it into Saison. But
Saison other.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but it's good. You have a lot of that like farmhouse funk, but with that hot ferment, you still have a lot of that fruity ester character.
Bro,
it carries well with that Citra Mosaic. And
are you as upset that Mike didn't bring that back as I am?
I'm actually, yes. I'm actually more.
So the black lager and the brown and the Rescue IPA wasn't good enough, and now I'm going to catch shit for a Saison IPA.
It's always what didn't you get us?
And the rum.
And the rum.
The rum.
Can I give you solace? A little bit of solace.
What's the solace?
I left my. What's the
He's
solace?
like, what the hell's the solace?
I left my Mets umbrella at the brewery.
That sucks.
And I'm sure.
Check the Lost and Found
No,
tomorrow.
don't even bother.
No. Right now, Alex like, fuck. I used that yesterday.
No, I guarantee, as being a
I'm a
Philadelphia.
Yankees fan, man.
Oh, they burnt that shit and threw it in the fucking creek.
Yes, exactly.
They threw that shit in the creek.
They were having
You can't piss in
competition.
the creek, but we'll throw the umbrella in it.
That's a hot new adjunct.
That's right. You're not pissing in the creek, but we'll throw a Mets umbrella in there. Fucking hot.
I'm telling you right now, those Philadelphia fans are vicious. They
Oh,
see any
yeah.
Mets, forget it. I guarantee.
I'm surprised you didn't get stabbed while you were up there.
I didn't wear any Mets gear, and the umbrella I didn't need in the end. But I
but
brought
you
it
left
inside. Let's talk about left it means. Basically, I went to go collect the beer, and I told my wife and my children to fix the table up and get ready. They failed to bring me my umbrella. Ella.
So you're blaming one of either your spouse or your
I'm
children.
I'm going to blame my 8-year-old.
Okay.
He's
Gonna-
next to it.
You
He had
do
to move it
realize
several times.
this poor bastard
Fair
for the rest
target.
of his life until his dad dies.
Yeah.
He
He's going to
will-
be haunted by the Mets umbrella left
And
at
I was
Barley
gonna say,
Creek.
how old is this umbrella too?
4 years old.
Yeah, so it's a collectible.
You know where I got it? I got it at the Crossings. At
Really?
they have
sell
that
Mac next
that shop at the
yeah.
Crossings, and that's where I got it. That's actually pretty funny now I'm thinking about it. It's all, you know what? It's back
comes
where it
full
belongs.
circle.
It comes for a circle. It's back to where it belongs.
See now,
If you ever want to make poor
In the
decisions
creek.
at the crossings
Yeah.
and spend too much money, come to our tasting room.
Yes.
We just opened up a tasting room at the crossings.
Oh, you
So my pitch whenever I'm outside of the building, I was like, do you want to forget how much you spent today?
Yeah.
Go to the crossings.
Well, hold on, because when did you open that?
So we opened that actually 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago,
2019,
and it was kind of
right?
overshadowed by COVID. So
I
wow.
feel like, and I'm trying to think, was there another brewery there? Was there another tasting room in the Crossings?
there was Blue Ridge Winery.
No. This is over on the south side, right? Of all the.
Yeah, like right by the main entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's us.
I was there, but I don't know if I remember it being Barley Creek for some reason. I don't know why.
We
But I was looking-
occupied the old. It used to be Blue Ridge Winery,
Right.
Where we're at, and that was all wine.
Right. Yeah. That was right on the corner there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely was there. Probably right when you opened.
Yeah, probably.
I'm
We
looking-
were- it was
I'm looking for
confusing
the
when we
picture in my thing. I have a picture of myself.
Of your thing?
Of
Wait,
no,
what?
no.
What the hell?
I have a
I don't want to
picture
see the picture of the
of
thing.
no. It'll.
God, we already had the cock conversation.
I know, and now it's a picture of his thing.
Don't make me.
There it is.
That was for the farmers.
And we're
Relax. We're back.
Right back in the gutter.
No. That's so the bus pulls up, right? And my buddy
And the
Eric and
wheels
I,
on the bus go round and
my buddy and Eric and I, all of a sudden go, because we've been to the Crossings for years in a row, and we look across the thing where the buses pull, and we go, is that a brewery? that's
like
a brewery.
children.
We did. We were so we did. We did the old double back, and we went into the Crossings and double backed and came back to the brewery, and both had a flight before we got back on the bus. Yeah, you know,
There
it's
you go.
2019. I'm gonna say it's sometime around April.
That's right when we first.
Yeah,
opened.
it was brand new. It was. I definitely was
new.
there. I was
Nice.
definitely
Yeah.
there. I didn't know you had one there.
Pre-Rona.
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 Just one of those things that we just kind of stumbled upon when, hello.
Hello.
This is nice.
That's
Hello,
awesome.
sir. May I
Hey,
have a
give me
flight?
1 second. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Yeah, don't take your time.
So we'll talk amongst us. Okay, so subject.
Rum.
Rum that Mike did not bring
Rum.
me.
You
Talk amongst
guys
yourselves.
are dicks. Listen, I saw the spirits, and I went, I don't know.
No, man, this was a dynamite fucking pickup.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, the brown and the
brown is good.
and the lager.
The black lager, obviously.
As
is
of
low.
right now, the black lager for me is the better. But
Yes.
how many brown ales did I make? Back in the, I made a lot of brown ales, so I like brown ales. And
It's a traditional English.
It
That's
is,
what it is. There's
yes.
no,
I like it.
no over the top hopping, no
Which-
crazy
which
stuff.
is the way it
It's a
should
very
be.
traditional beer.
way it should be.
Right, and I like.
I mean, it
browns
would have been
in
fucking
general.
awesome to try a double dry hop fucking saison with that funky beautifulness that you and I both love.
Can I
enjoy some
say
nice
I didn't
farmhouse
I
fun.
didn't see it in the cooler, but I'm probably lying because they had like 5 coolers full of beer, and there was so much beer. I didn't.
And he even passed up the punch.
Yes, the punch. So the punch was on the list for the second trip. When I was coming back, when I had it earmarked on my list, I was getting the Saison IPA, the punch, and what was the other?
Rum
the
for
Maibach.
Steve.
They had the Maibach. I was like, I would get the Maibach because
That would have been
it was.
delicious,
It,
too.
I didn't get it in the flight, but I'm going to give it a cold try because Rescue, by the way, the IPA that we have here tonight, was not on tap. They ran out of it on tap, so they had a double IPA. Citra.
And you guys do realize we went the wrong way with these beers. We went black,
I know.
brown, and now we're going to go to the
clear.
IPA. Yeah.
Well, we went actually probably upwards in
Almost
ABV
straight.
though,
And
right?
we went kind of our
Yes.
favorite first. We
Yeah,
were very.
we
Yeah,
all
we're
looked
all-
at the
we all
black.
got
we were all like
excited
black
about
lager, black lager.
Yeah.
We did. We were all just
Easily distracted by a black lager.
And
yes, very good.
4.8. Man,
it's 9:32.
It is.
I do love to
But
see
we have
sub
so
5%
many
beers.
We have so many other things to talk about, but we do have something really quick that we need to do that we do every single
It is that time.
day, and this is 3 questions with Steve Pominski. Oh, see, I cue it up and it still doesn't work, but that's fine.
Brother.
There you
Is
go.
that not working?
I don't hear it.
I don't hear
Well,
it.
I don't know why, because that definitely should be working. See,
It's the
this
dongle.
is it's the
Dongle.
there. It is.
That's what it is.
All right.
Hey, you cool hemp cats. Tonight, we bring you a very special presentation. 3 questions with our very own Steve Pominski. Yeah. Steve's questions. 3 questions from Steve. 3 questions. Steve's questions go.
Oh, yes. The wonderful, wonderful Michael Toole, produced, performed, and written by.
The jazzy you
All right.
cats.
So, all right. So these 3 questions, I'm only going to ask you one at a time because every time I give all 3, and we've been drinking for a while, everybody forgets them, and then we're on to something else. So we're going to start off with, what was that first beer, craft beer that you had that you were like, wow, I got to get into this. I got to start doing something with craft beer, or where did this come from? What was that one that you recall that really just kind of pushed you in that direction?
No, I'm gonna get weird with it.
No, there's no. We've heard some crazy shit, bro. Just let you know.
Yeah, Anchor Steam.
Oh, awesome!
All right.
All right.
And now for nothing,
Anchor-
I just had Anchor Steam this past weekend because I haven't had it in a
Anchor-
long time, and it
Anchor
was.
Steam beer. I was like, what the fuck?
How dare you, Anchor Steam?
It was so good. Yeah, it was just so good. And then I remember specifically, I was dating this girl in the past, and she gave me an Anchor Steam beer, and I was like, this is amazing. And then she followed it up with a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Ah,
There you
yes.
I read on the bottle, I was like, bottle conditioned. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah. all West Coast beautifulness right there.
What's a
Yeah,
ZJ?
it was- They were
If you
just
don't know, you can't afford it.
yeah, they were just it was 2 beers that I was like, this shit has flavor. Like,
Nice.
you know, just cut and dry. You know, it wasn't just like I'm drinking a beer to drink a beer. It was I'm drinking a beer and I'm enjoying this.
There you go.
You know, and
What
those two, 100%.
what? Let me. So our number 2 question is, what's your favorite style right now? I love that because how many people are like, oh fuck, I go from this to that and I go to and right now, but right now, what is your favorite style that you kind of go to often?
You know, a nice clean pilsner.
Crispy
Even a dirty
boys!
pilsner. You know, I'll
That is
even
a very
get dirty
brewer
with it,
answer.
You know, if there's an unfiltered pilsner with like a very good step mash, like give it to me. Put it in me. I'll drink the whole can.
There
of
you
my
go.
ass. Like,
I drank several, at least 3 pilsners, Friday night.
An hour ago.
Yeah, Friday night, and it was just because the place I was at had like really great pilsners.
We
in
saw the
cans.
pictures
American
you
Beauty,
sent me.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And man, again, when beer was beer and beer tasted like beer. And
remember my day.
it's starting to come around again.
Yeah.
And that was the appropriate answer. So you got 2 points now.
hey,
And question
I
number
didn't know these
3.
are scored.
Question number 3. If you went to a restaurant and there could be any beer there, what would be your go-to
Oh, I'm
beer?
feeling like you're changing the parameters.
I am
for
a
that
little
one.
bit.
That
You know
one
what?
changed
Because
the parameters a little
because things have changed a little bit.
they all right.
So,
All right, can
so
I
I'm
answer
trying to
this
make
one,
them a little
and then
more.
Can I get the original parameters?
Yeah.
Original premise would be, what is your go-to beer right now, other than the beer that you brew?
Other than a beer that I brew, my go-to beer. I'll answer that one first. Go-to beer. Fuck.
Well, so that was easy.
Man, holy
Is that a New England or a West Coast?
Yes, that's the yes.
Yeah, right? No, I'll tell you right now. My do you ever hear of Zero Gravity Brewing?
Yes.
Yes.
They're
The
in
Green
Vermont,
State
right?
Lager from Zero Gravity Brewing. Yeah, hands down, favorite beer of all time. Yeah, like at any point in time, it's appropriate.
Nice.
That would be something that will continue into that precursor question.
Yeah.
It's like, no matter what I'm eating, it's light enough to pair with anything. It's heavy enough, to be a meal in itself. I think that it's a perfect beer.
Cool.
100%.
I have a quick question for you outside of Steve's 3 questions. Thank you very much, Steve. That banjo over your right
pleasure.
shoulder, is that something you can play?
Fully functional.
Fully
Except for
No, but
one
can you
string.
play it?
Can you
The
play
the
it?
one string is broken, and it's probably severely out of tune at this point.
Ah,
in my
fair
life.
enough. All right.
Okay.
I didn't want to put you on the spot, but that thing's calling my name for a little barley.
Who's got a pretty mouth?
Who's got a pretty mouth on this show?
I want to get into that double IPA that you guys have on tap because I'm very used to seeing double IPA
What,
and
the
thinking.
Saison? That
No,
you
no,
didn't
no,
get us?
no, 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 no. The double IPA. This,
Oh.
not citronella, but it's something like that, right?
Citronella. That's kills bugs.
It's like cerebellum, but also citra hop.
Citrabellum.
Yes.
Yes, citrabellum. There you go. Almost like
That's the name.
like antebellum. Like that.
Don't say that
horrible-
anymore.
She'll appear in the
Lady
window.
A. It's Lady A now.
Lady A.
Don't say that anymore.
I'm sorry.
And she stole that name.
So I that was the first beer I tried, and it wasn't what. Again, not that I didn't like it. It wasn't what I thought it would be. Give me the breakdown of that because I was interested in that. I wish you were sitting next to me, like, all right, so this is what you're about to get into, and then I would have understood it more, but I didn't. So give me that breakdown of that double.
So that double IPA, we brew it. It's 7.8 if I remember correctly. But no, we use nothing but mosaic and citra inside of that. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to give like a kind of a cross between like the East Coast, West Coast.
Gotcha.
Where we give you that hot bitterness, but we also give you that like aromatic, and that aromatic normally comes up after you burp.
And that's what it was. So like I couldn't put my finger on it. It's not a juicy, and it's not a
No.
West Coast. So where does that fall? What would you categorize, like Central?
IPA.
Central IPA.
Bohemian? Is that
Bohemian. All right. That's not a
I
bad.
don't know.
Scaramouche, Scaramouche.
No, yeah, right. So it's a rhapsody.
Yes.
No,
like that
so that's one of the older recipes that it was there before I was here, and it's one of those things that we've always just brewed it the exact same way that the recipe. That's one of the few beers that we actually do balance water chemistry on.
Ah, okay.
But that's the only we don't really have that necessity for pH balancing. So it's mostly just like the calcium chloride, gypsum, hardness, softness type of deal.
Yeah, so no homosote.
No spackle dust or.
It took me a second.
I only say homosote because I know it's at Home Depot, and I know it's like a sound absorption material. So I always bring that up, and people are like, what the fuck is homosote? What are you talking about? Like, just go to Home Depot and ask for it.
I don't even want to go where I thought you were.
No, but it's actually an actual thing, and it has these qualities of it. You guys, you gotta get yourself into the sound.
Gotta get you.
I'm not
we try to meet in the middle on that beer.
There you go.
And we like if you've been to Barley Creek, you can see that the majority of our styles are traditional, and we try to do things traditionally, like that brown ale, the black lager that you guys drank. Like none of that's filtered. We only filter 2 beers in our cider.
It's interesting that you say that because I'm looking at the can of
Rescue.
Of the Rescue, and in the back there it says keep chilled. Is that for any reason? Is there?
Yeah. Everyone wants a cold beer.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe your cans get a little tight in.
No Route 420 or
no Route 420
no,
explosions.
450.
450. There you go.
Yeah.
450 North.
Luckily, we haven't had any explosion problems yet.
No aluminum hand.
Aluminum hand grenades.
Yeah, we do. We we don't filter, but we do we do our cold crash. We do a lot of like fining.
Yep.
But we take a lot of steps to prevent any necessity to worry about over spoilage. But like just like any beer, if you let a case sit in the fridge for a month, it's not going to be that good.
Yeah, well.
So our
especially
new
IPA.
tagline is "Drink before your friends do."
Ah, look at that! I like that. We just cracked open the Rescue. Hold on, let me get you the shot of us drinking the Rescue. Give us a little breakdown of this because it looks very malty.
Open another one.
And again, not quite what if we were to be served an IPA here on Long Island, we would expect juice, right? We'd expect
traditional.
Traditional juice.
We're going the traditional
Orange and apple.
English
That's
IPA.
None of this grapefruit bullshit.
But this is it's
It's a young man's game.
Yeah, exactly. But I
what my
really
dad always
appreciate
said.
the multi IPAs. I love those. Some of the ones that the breweries around here that do that, I like those. Those really call to me. So
Yeah, so if you think about like the way the style has progressed through its origins, in England, because England, the English IPA, that was the beginning of the entire IPA. It's India Pale Ale.
And actually, this after having a few sips of this beer, it really tastes like a traditional American IPA.
yeah.
Yeah, it gets into that. The traditional American IPA is the West Coast, and that traditional West Coast
But
isn't
not as much
10%.
bitter that you would think about it, right? It's not over the top piney or grassy or earthy.
You do get those piney notes though.
Yeah. But
with
it's a little bit
with the
with
malt
a
backbone.
sweet malt background.
Yes.
And this is I'm a little torn right now because the black lager was my favorite.
Yeah.
But now this one, I like this a lot.
good.
I like it a lot.
Hell yeah.
Push the
That's the
envelope.
thing is that like people, saturate this. That's like frustrating as a brewer. I think, and I can speak for a lot of brewers, in general, is that a lot of people inside of this, the beer world, it's been so saturated recently, with between sours, fruited sours,
Heavily
these
adjuncted
heavily
stouts.
juiced IPAs and New England's lactose milkshake IPAs and all this, all that type of stuff. And
Milk
just
sugar.
like,
Now we call it milk
Yeah.
sugar, not lactose.
yeah, loosen the caboose.
Steve's just shaking his head. But we can't
But-
say lactose because then people will be turned off by the fact that it's like this heavily milk-based product. No,
Yeah.
we're just gonna say milk sugar, which just sounds pretty, like at the
Yeah,
bottom
it
of your
is-
Fruit Loops barrel.
It's
and
after
the
you
thing
get
is that-
after you get done eating your cereal, and it's the milk on the bottom is so sweet and delicious.
And
You
they're
can't
putting
wait.
freaking cereal in the beer too. It's
Yeah,
like,
fuck yeah, everybody
beer
does that.
bros-
Pebbles.
Have you
Beer
see the
Bros
Wort
10
Wrangler?
years ago, and it was like beer people used to make fun of like the Mike's Hard people. Oh, you're
Oh,
drinking
man.
like a peach or strawberry drink. And
How many
now
of
it's
those
like,
breweries
there
make a
isn't enough
seltzer now?
marshmallow inside of my fruited sour.
man.
Exactly.
you know, there's I respect the breweries that are doing all that stuff because it is hard to balance, and especially to put that inside of a beer. It's really hard. Yeah, I can't do it. I don't know how the fuck to do it.
You don't want to
but-
do it.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
No.
I think that like when you're drinking a beer, it should be a beer, and I think that's one of
No.
the things that we
Beer
all,
that tastes like beer?
yeah, right.
Get the
It's
fuck outta
different.
here.
I'm gonna give you something right now. I brewed a beer, and Untapped. Some douche went on Untapped and said,
Here we go.
and said, this wasn't what I expected. It had a real beery aftertaste.
It's the best.
Wait,
Best-
that was the idea I had. That
was the
have a beer
beer.
aftertaste.
It's funny because I was trying to make beer.
You said you gave it one cap because it had a beery aftertaste. What the fuck did you expect? Water? Milk?
You know how long it took me to figure out those were caps?
Bro, I've only been using that term probably in the last 6 months. All the other times I've been saying stars and whatever else.
Is that because you didn't realize they were caps either?
I knew they were, but I just couldn't wrap my head around it.
Yeah. He didn't want to say it to
I
feel
didn't
like
want to
that
actually
guy.
say like to
I'm
be
that guy.
I'm that guy. I know caps.
I know caps.
You got a quarter cap.
You get a quarter cap
caps
review.
you give- No, but
Now let me ask you.
it's such.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's just it's the market is just so. There's everyone wants an IPA. No, but
Not
I
me.
like we would all like to have something else, and that's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to just highlight that there are different beers out there, and there's a beer for everybody.
Thank you for doing that, because there's not a lot of. There are many brewers out there that and they'll just open up as
Like
hey, we got 10 fucking IPAs,
3 sours,
a
2
seltzer,
stouts.
yeah, a seltzer, and
Seltzer, 4 pastry stouts.
and it's just enough. Please, can make real beer, make some traditional stuff, and do them well. That's the key. Don't make them and make them shitty because you're just trying to throw them on there. Make them well. And actually, we've had 3 beers from you guys so far, and each one
Delicious.
was a good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah, and again, I'm kind of torn between the black lager and the IPA right now, but they're both.
Oh yeah.
I could easily drink a 4-pack of each of them, no problem.
And
But
if I
then
didn't-
again, that's my normal day anyway.
And if
We're
I didn't,
enthusiasts, not alcoholics.
right.
No.
I was gonna
Come
say,
on, craft beer made my alcoholism look like a fucking
Hobby.
real hobby.
Yeah.
Question, and obviously Mike went up, saw you guys. I've never heard of the brewery, but how is it during the off season? Like when it's ski season, do you still have like a lot of people coming down because
man.
it's ski season?
I would catch pretty busy, no?
So we so this is my outlook on everything. This is and this is I think the way that it works inside of the brewery. In the summertime, it's not our peak season in the brewery. It's the peak season for the kitchen.
Yeah, and it was
a lot
busy.
of people come in and they want to just, because we're the Poconos. A lot of people come to hike. They come to be outside. So a lot of people
Jump in
come. They come
champagne
for the
spas.
meal. They'll grab a quick beer, maybe a 4-pack to go or whatever, and they come in. The kitchen's busier in the summer. We've been doing, we're still busy, but it's not, it's not like it is once the fall hits. And once that ski season hits, that's the brewery busy season, because people want to come in, warm up, and they want to stay and drink a bunch of beers inside.
Oh, that's
And
Après ski.
that's awesome.
you know,
Yeah.
that Rescue IPA that you guys are drinking right now, like I remember when I first started working there during Hell Week, in between December 20th to January 1st.
It's a long Hell Week.
It was it's a long week. But it was one day in between that amount of time. I think it was a Saturday, and I put on our like I mentioned before, we serve out a bright tank, so I put on 305 gallons of that Rescue IPA in that bright tank.
Wow.
It was all we had.
That's a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
A
I put that on at 8:00 in the morning. Bars opened at 9, and then by 4:00, when I was walking out to the parking lot to just go home, someone was chasing me out into the lot, and they were like, "Do you have any more Rescue?" And I'm like, "What? what do you mean? There was 300 gallons of beer inside of that tank." They're like, "It's all gone, Alek. It's all gone." I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
between that, the restaurant, by the way, so I was there on a Wednesday night, right? So Wednesday night, bar packed. There was a little bit of a wait as we left. We got there a little early. We were like 5:30. So we were leaving at like 7. There was a wait. There were people outside waiting. There were people up at the beer garden. Your off season seemed busy. I can't imagine the on season during the ski season. That's just insane. I mean, you got to have people like literally just putting their skis on, just going down that small little bunny hill by the beer garden, just
how many
waiting.
people splat on the window like a fly.
Yeah, just stuck to it like, I want to get on there. And they have like 2 areas for merchandise, right? They have you have your T-shirts and your spirits on one side, and then you have your beer and your local like ingredients, right? You had like some local made tea or coffee, and there was other like jams and jellies and stuff like that. So they have like 2 little marketplaces when you walk in, one on the left, one on the right, and then you have your big U-shaped bar. Then you have your dining room to the left and to the immediate back left and front left, and then you have a whole nother area off by the glass. Then you have the outside. Then you have the beer garden. I mean, they got enough space, but cranking. I mean, it was cranking on a Wednesday night. It was really, really cool.
It's it's fun, and it's something that like I think that all the people that like myself and everybody that I work with directly, because in the restaurant business you have front of house, you have back of house.
Sure.
And when you have a brew pub attached to it and a brewery attached to it, then you have a side of house. So we're like, we consider ourselves the side of the house, and all of us are addicted to the entire idea of this is a quick paced environment. You need to be able to multitask, and if you can't multitask, then what the hell are you doing? And the people that we're with, they're all, they're precise, calculated people who give a very big shit about what they're doing.
That's cool.
And it's taken a decent amount of time to find, like a really solid and static crew to be working with. And it seems like we've found it right now. And I'm proud of all the work that all the people are doing inside of our department. Just being able to get the beer out and have it be consistent. It's it's tough. It's an ever revolving door, but it's the type of industry where if there isn't any time to, your problems are, how do I fix this right now? It's not like all right, let's have a board meeting about this problem and like sort it out. It's this is like an immediate issue. Like, let's do it right now. And it's just constantly being able to process, think, and problem solve. It's just such an exciting and fast paced environment to be a part of. And then at the end of the day, when you make a good beer and regardless of whatever hiccup that you come across, being able to have it come out and like you're looking at like, especially if it's on the hot side of the brewing things, and then you come out on the cold side and you're looking at the original gravity, and you're just like, perfect.
Gotta love that.
Like the moment where
you have to love that.
Little sorbet on the wounds.
How have you guys how did you guys fare with because right now in New York, especially down here on the island, a lot of places are having a hard time with staffing.
Yeah, you know what? That's exactly what my question was going to be.
How are you guys doing with that?
Because there's such a demand for employment, and no one's jumping at it. So what are you guys doing? You had a lot of staff. I mean, when I was there was a tremendous amount of front of house. You had 2 or 3 hostesses there shuffling around, getting people seated. There was a number of wait staff. I mean, more than I could saw. A bunch of bartenders, a lot of people there, ready to go. What was the biggest challenge kind of coming out of this and getting into like you're going to get into the hot season come October, November, December. Are you guys finding that same thing happening with you guys?
Absolutely. Everyone around us, we service a lot of offsite accounts, so I've had a lot of conversations with other people, especially recently we've been getting into like big baseball stadiums and even, like the Iron Pigs and, Rail Riders, like our AAA teams that we have locally.
Yeah, I actually been to a Rail Riders game. Yeah. I like to go to the minor league stadiums. We're Ducks fans, even though the Ducks stinks as a name. But I've been to the Bears in New Jersey.
Bridgewater
Bears. Yeah, I've been down to. They do a great job. Actually, I've been there twice. One for a baseball game and once for the Opie and Anthony bikini softball game.
Of course,
which is crazy. What a crazy time that was.
Through the conversations that I've had with them, and just ourselves, like right now, we have a lot of people staffed often, and it's a testament to their own, personal idealities and their willingness to be able to help, our business and like their belief inside of the business that we're a part of. We have a lot of really awesome employees who are willing to go the extra mile to help us. We're short-staffed. We're operating on 50% of the people that we normally have inside the building.
And at that, like I said, it didn't look like that. Whoever was there, big props to them for keeping things moving and shaking, getting people to the table. It seemed seamless, and I was expecting worse. And I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of hospitality from both the hostess, from the front of house, from the wait staff, from the people that were, basically the hostess take care of all the merchandise as well. So you basically grab your spirits and your beer to go. You can get it done at the table with your wait staff, but you can also go to the hostess table and check out with them in 2 seconds. Boom, 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 in and out. It was nice. It was good to see.
Yeah. The people, and this is coming from the higher up, leadership, upper management in that building. They're fantastic human beings, and they create a workplace that is amazing to be a part of. Honestly, even though we're side of house and there's the back of house, front of house, and then the upper echelon.
Well, you also, think about it. You have the beer garden, you have the satellite tasting room.
Yeah, it's a very what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very cohesive attitude for all of us to be.
You're excited you got that right. You're like, oh, yes, good for you.
Hey, after a few beers, that's a
challenge.
Right? I'm like counting on the fingers. I'm like,
four gold stars for Alek tonight.
4 bottle caps. 4 bottle
Oh
caps.
no, you didn't go there. And nothing to do with beer. Pete Alonso broke the record for home
I didn't want to
runs.
hear it. I'm taping it, you son of a bitch.
For the first round, he hit 35 home runs.
35?
35.
I hope it breaks him out of his streak. And I know everyone at Barley Creek hopes he dies in a tragic car accident.
He gets a bowl shoved right.
Yeah, he gets that Mets umbrella
right out of the creek, right in his ass.
I'll find that Mets umbrella. I swear to God. I'll find that.
Seriously, don't worry about it. It's getting old. It was a little rusty, and it's not a big deal. But
A little rusty.
a little
Yeah, the
rusty.
Yankees are
Nothing
better anyway.
like a rusty
But
Rusty
Mac's going to get beaten to a bloody pulp for forgetting.
I mean, I like I said, I had a lot of fun at Barley Creek. It was one of the highlights of the week that I spent. Even though there were water slides and fun times.
That blows my mind.
What?
So I'm guessing the reason Barley Creek, that location had to do with the skiing.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden Kalahari comes out of nowhere.
And Mount Airy Casino and
And then as you were saying earlier, there's the outlets all within that area.
Yeah.
Just pulling towards the brewery and restaurant.
We got exceptionally lucky because
Yeah.
the initial
Yeah,
aim,
you did. Yeah, you did.
The initial aim wasn't to target a ski resort. You know, like we opened up 25 years ago, and our initial
Crazy to think, right? 25 years ago.
Yeah, and our initial goal was to just open. And,
going.
that's it. That's the way that it always goes. It's just like we need to figure out a spot to open, and we just, not me myself, but our owner.
Sure.
He was just lucky enough to have this spot that was available. That wasn't, the spot ahead of us before us. It went bankrupt, and we were just there at the right time.
Did they build this, or was this already a building? Did they?
It was a pre-existing farmhouse that converted into a ski shop that went bankrupt, and then we ended up just literally being in the right place at the right time and being able, to just grow with our region.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's awesome.
It really is, man.
Yeah,
it's fun to be a part of it.
Story.
Even though I'm a little bit late to the party, it's fun to be a part of it at this point in time. We have a bunch of expansion plans that we're about to pull the trigger on, and we're really going to try to start not losing the integrity of what we are doing now.
What do you guys think you are?
We're going to maintain our mission.
Where are you going? You going downtown DC? What are you doing?
Are you going to Brooklyn?
We're just gonna. All right. So listen, we're gonna make a tasting room, and it's gonna be nothing but juices.
And collaborations with other juicy brewers.
Touché, sir. Touché.
Alek, we're gonna keep the same stuff, man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and it should be because, like we said, the dark lager, the brown.
That's what's working for you.
Yeah, that's what's going to keep you going.
IPA.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah, seriously, I really appreciate it. I know that everybody at Barley Creek appreciates it as well.
Alek, I want to give you an opportunity to give us the big plug, give us all the information about the brew pub, about the brewery, about the beer garden, about the satellite tasting room, all that stuff, where people can find you on social media, and, of course, the website.
So you can find us at Barley Creek Brewing on all forms of social media. You can find us at BC Tasting Room on Instagram for our tasting room. We had just recently opened up a tasting room inside of the crossing, so if you're ever coming down inside the Tannersville area,
so many good shops, and of course, Barley Creek.
So many things.
Yeah.
We're right at the base of Camelback, so if you're ever in the area, if you're skiing, if you're shopping, if you're at the Kalahari resorts, Great Wolf resorts, wherever you're at, please stop by and have a drink with us.
Don't forget about Mount Airy Lodge.
Mount Airy.
Mount Airy Lodge. Get your naked ass in a champagne glass.
All you have to bring is your love for everything.
Yes.
Yes.
Just to let you know.
Oh God, that's terrible.
And if you ever want to, shoot the shit, I'm here. I'm at Barley. Most of the time, every day, up until around like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So, find me.
Come through.
We'll talk. I'll get you some beers.
Find me.
And, of course, hit up
Find me.
You must find me. Hit up Amy on social media, on the Instagram, on the Twitter, on the Facebook. She's really good at getting back to you. So if you have any questions about the brewery, ask Amy because she's very knowledgeable. She was very good.
Yeah, don't ask me. I'm horrible with social media.
Well, thank her for us because she really was great at communicating back and really sparked the idea for the show tonight, and it was awesome. Really appreciate your time, Alek.
Hey, I really appreciate you guys letting me come on behalf of Barley Creek. Man, thank you guys so much. I've never done a podcast before, so this is the first.
Hey, there you go.
It was awesome. This is a really good show.
You did really good. Just so you know, you did really good.
Except for the part where you said I couldn't piss in the creek. That's I really want to do that now.
That was something I was really looking forward
There's
to.
a sign. You can't do that.
There is a sign now. It's gonna be.
You just got to go right past the fireworks shop, right down to the creek, and it'll be right there.
I sent a secret email down here.
he has the map all laid out like Pete does for my little
the schematics.
Instead of no trespassing signs, no trespassing.
No trespassing sign. I like it.
Write it up. Yep. We'll get one of those lawn
Make it
signs
happen.
made up, courtesy of the Wort.
Courtesy of the what? No trespassing sign.
Alek, man, thank you very
send me
much
the
for
PDF.
coming on, man. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll have this podcast out in the next few days, and of course we'll keep talking about Barley Creek and the wonderful beers. And if anyone's going on vacation in the next few weeks, months, years, you got to hit them
Man, how many friends do we have that have young kids that are going
up.
to Kalahari?
Without a doubt, you got to hit up freaking Barley Creek.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Thank you guys.
You got it.
If
Thank
you're
you.
ever lonely, just give me a call.
Yeah, you got it. Steve, before we get out of here, last words.
Don't piss in the creek.
Last words.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Don't piss in the creek. Pete, what do we got?
Definitely piss in the
Don't
creek.
piss in the
Wait,
creek.
no, you can't.
Please come to Barley
No,
Creek.
don't. No, that's not that, Pete. You're
Don't
not
forget
giving.
to have your pet spayed or neutered.
Thank you very
Okay.
much. This is
And
the
don't let
word.
your pets piss in the creek either.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that makes a little more sense. This is the word with
Don't
Mike.
forget
Pete,
to
and
brush your teeth.
There you go. This is the word with Mike, Pete, and Steve. GubsRadio.com. Thank you very much for checking us out tonight. Again, live on YouTube and live on GubsRadio.com. Check us out on our podcast forum on all your favorite platforms, including Spotify and iTunes. And this is the word Mike and Pete and Steve and GubsRadio.com. And we out.
Bye.
Well, that's 2 hours of your life that you'll never get back.
Are you kidding me?
Please hang up and try again.
This has been The Wort on Govs Radio. I hope you're drunk enough.